Okay, so we're back. So what do you think? We do like a quick, like 35 minute intro for this part of the podcast, then get back to the movies
And do the last 5 in like an hour 20, a tight hour 20.
Oh yeah,
After taking almost 3 hours to do the first 5.
yeah.
To be fair, of the last 6 remaining, there's a couple that aren't going to be talked about very long.
But still enough to give people their money's worth because
yes,
we're gentlemen.
we don't want to take away from your stupid picks.
We're not shortchanging anyone. We love all of you equally, except we don't.
Oh, should we have played the music? And fuck it.
Who's got?
We're
the
not
time?
going back now.
Look, we want to give a quick shout out to sponsor of this half of the podcast, Old Dutch Arriba tortilla chips.
Arriba!
Chili lime. I've always been a zesty taco guy because they're like the last taco chips on the market, and I'm always a taco chips fan. Shout out to the OG Doritos Taco Supreme.
Yep.
But these are not a bad substitute.
Yep.
But chili lime.
Very good.
That's a nice bag of chips.
Yeah, real good. Real good.
We just housed that bag.
Well, also, we just recorded for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
After eating at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it had been a while since we'd put anything other than cookies. It's
been a while.
And Mountain Dew or Gatorade in our bodies.
For keen listeners, you might have noticed a couple mid-show cookies on the previous half.
Yes, you did.
So you're welcome. You're welcome for those. But those hit the spot.
Yep.
One other thing that's been on my mind, and then we'll jump right back into it. This shouldn't take more than 28 minutes.
Okay.
Promise.
I'll brace myself.
You know what, Drew? Set me a hard cap at 20. No, 27.
Oh,
I'll do it inside 27.
Okay.
That's my promise to you, the American people.
The American people.
Me even more so than you, have to watch a bunch of movies for this because you've seen some of them, so you just get to do refreshers on some of them.
Yeah, except for next week, I think
it's a lot of freshies.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, not that bad.
That's a lot better than me.
2, 3.
I feel like I'm 10 next week.
4, 5. I got to be 5 and 5. So yeah, maybe you're worse than me.
Yeah, this is the only scenario in which I'm worse than you.
Correct.
But yeah, so I've got a lot to watch, and yeah, pretty much any like spare moment I have, I'm like, well, I have to watch a movie. And I don't know if you know, but right around the time we started having to record these, the Winter Olympics ended.
Yes.
Are you familiar?
I am familiar with the Winter.
Have you heard about that? Have you heard about the Winter Olympics ending?
I'm a hack comedian.
So that means original programming is back on NBC.
Right.
You understand?
I understand.
Okay. I don't know if you've heard about network television, but it's dying.
Okay. I've heard of it.
I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
I don't know it.
So what they're doing now is they're just taking the 1 or 2 properties of theirs that are still profitable and just expanding it over their entire programming.
911 Lone Star.
Exactly. So NBC Wednesdays for some time has been Chicago Wednesdays.
Yes.
Medfire PD.
Okay.
Now the fatal flaw with that, it sounds like a nice idea on paper. None of them are good.
Okay.
And the only star among the 3 of them is former Scientologist Jason Begg with his gravelly voice.
Who?
You've seen it. Jason Beghe.
Are you spelling Jason Biggs wrong?
No. I promise you it's not Jason Biggs. And now they've done the same on Thursdays, but they've learned from their mistakes, and they've done it with good shows, that being Law & Order. Thursday, all day on NBC, is now Law & Order Thursdays. If you got your SVU, which has been a staple for 23 years at this point. You've got the new, but with Stabler from SVU, Law & Order Organized Crime. And guess who's back in the fucking 8 o'clock slot? OG Law & Order, back after 11 years.
Right.
With 94-year-old Sam Waterston at the helm.
I don't know who Jason Begg is.
You've seen him.
I mean,
he's in the Scientology documentary.
He's in movies that I've seen, but I don't recognize his face.
Yeah. Anyway, that's why you don't need to watch the Chicago shit.
Wait, is there also a Chicago Justice?
No. That's crazy talk. There can't be a fourth Chicago show.
Yeah, there is.
That's madness.
Yeah. But I think it was only on for one season, 13 episodes.
Classic half season. Yeah.
Oh, Carl Weathers.
Nice. But for a second, I thought Carl Weathers was Carl Winslow from Family Matters.
Get out of my house, Steve.
So, I have not had time and likely will not have time to watch any of the Law and Orders on my PVR until after we've recorded the 4th episode, and maybe not even for another week after that, because I have to watch all the Best Picture nominees. I'm going to say 7 out of 10 I don't want to watch for the live Oscars commentary on March 27th. But after March 27th, I am going to have 4 episodes of Law and Order, 4 episodes of Law and Order SVU, and 4 episodes of Law and Order Organized Crime, and I'm gonna watch them all in one day.
That's pretty
and
sick.
It's gonna be so fucking good. I'm
fucking
so.
sick.
Do you know how many people are gonna get raped in those 12 hours of television?
14.
Probably 14. Probably just over 1 an ep. Because
pretty good.
someone's going serial on one of them, obviously. And I could not be more excited. So that's where I'm at in my life.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So should we talk about The Man in the Iron Mask, 1998, from Eve, friend of the show?
Can I tell you what makes me feel good? Is that I know for a fact...
sentient non-human mouth?
Absolutely. The fact that I know that Eve doesn't like this movie, so I don't have to be nice about it.
True.
Right?
Yes.
Because if I didn't know that and I thought she genuinely liked this movie, then I would feel
be more
bad
hesitant.
being
Yeah.
super mean.
Yeah.
But since I know for a fact she hates it, I'm gonna be mean about it.
Yeah, so Eve recommended us Three Musketeers movie, a 1993's Three Musketeers, which we did last week, and this week's The Man in the Iron Mask, featuring the Three Musketeers. Big Alexandre Dumas fan.
Dumas.
And she gave me a little backstory. She and her friends loved the Three Musketeers, and she hates The Man in the Iron Mask.
I think that's a pretty common thing for people who grew up in that era.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people saw the Disney one
Yeah.
and then thought this was like a sequel or a shared universe,
I mean, it could be a shared universe.
and then realized like, oh, this is boring and drama.
It is boring and drama, but there's no reason this can't be a shared universe.
Yeah.
I mean, it has the Musketeers. They're not the same people, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, whatever. That hasn't stopped other like sequels, prequels, same universe stuff.
So what do we think about comparing the Four Musketeers 1-to-1? So Athos, Kiefer Sutherland versus John Malkovich. Where are you at?
Well, what's the debate? What's the comparison?
Who would you rather be inside you?
Kiefer.
Who would you rather yell "fuck face" at you?
John Malkovich.
Interesting. So I guess it does depend on the criteria.
Who would you rather see beat up a photographer?
Kiefer Sutherland.
Of course.
Yeah. Who would you rather be weirdly miscast as a good guy in this movie?
I like that one character is clearly a traitor, and they didn't cast
And it's
John
not
Malkovich.
John Malkovich?
When I think of traitor,
crazy.
I think Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
I got who you're casting Three Musketeers. Do you cast Kiefer or
what
Malkovich?
movie? Like, is it more of a fun actiony movie, or is it more of a trying to be a serious drama?
Thriller.
You know what? Honestly, maybe John Malkovich.
If it's a thriller, honestly, probably Malkovich. No, like a straight ahead Three Musketeers and D'Artagnan movie.
Kiefer.
I think I go Kiefer.
Yeah, Kiefer. I think.
I think I might even cast Malkovich in the movie as a bad guy.
Yeah, he could be King Louis.
He could be King Louis, the orangutan from the Jungle Book.
Yes.
Yeah. You never had a friend like me. Wait, that's
Baloo.
Or is that the genie?
Oh,
from Aladdin.
That is the genie from Aladdin.
King Louis I want to be like you.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Talk like you and throw my poo.
Porthos. Two fun Porthoses. Oliver Platt versus Russian citizen, Gerard Depardieu.
I mean, I like both of them a lot.
They're both good Porthoses, honestly.
My question is, which one's more fuckable?
I'm going to say 1998 Gerard Depardieu, who had no problem being fully nude for a while. and considering how horrible I expected his ass to be, in 1998, it's still holding up okay. Yeah. I mean, now it's got to be like an absolute war crime.
I bet you it's just unrecognizable at this point.
Yeah.
Gerard Depardieu.
Gerard Depardieu ass 2022.
I don't know if that'll come up. How old is he? He's
got to be 70.
73.
You're welcome.
But he's a Russian citizen, which I love.
Because he didn't want to keep paying French taxes, so he defected.
Yep. Executive order granting Russian citizenship to him.
Amazing.
But I feel like he was on Russian Dancing with the Stars.
I'm sure he was.
Which is very silly for a fat old man.
For a fat old drunk.
But what can you do?
So for Porthos, as fun as Depardieu is, I'm tired of his voice and his silly French accent.
Yep.
And Platt can do a lot. I'm thinking like Platt as Jimmy King as Porthos.
Ooh.
And I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm into that.
I'm casting Platt.
I'm into that.
Aramis. Aramis is an interesting matchup. Charlie Sheen versus Jeremy Irons.
Well, noted pedophile incest correspondent Jeremy Irons
and
works for the podcast.
Charlie Sheen would be the pedophile correspondent, by the way, having both given and received it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Having been on both ends of Hollywood pedophilia.
One is okay with gay incest.
Yes.
Because it's not gay if you can't... It's not incest if you can't make a baby.
You can't make an incest baby.
And Charlie Sheen literally made a man do so many drugs that he died.
Charlie Sheen was walked in on watching child pornography by his wife, Denise Richards. And as Denise Richards is crying and pleading with him to stop watching child pornography, he responds, "Go fuck yourself." I'm casting Irons. I think he's more of a musketeer than Charlie Sheen.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
D'Artagnan.
Not even close.
O'Donnell?
Yeah. The other one's a coward and a traitor.
Yeah, Gabriel Byrne's a fucking narc. Like they're both like Gabriel Byrne's probably like is a better actor than Chris O'Donnell. I think
that's not even a
that's not really close. But yeah, also he's a narc, so he's out.
Out.
O'Donnell's in.
Yeah, snitches get stitches.
So Kiefer, Platt, Irons, O'Donnell.
That's a weird combo. That's a really weird combo.
Hey, we did the Socratic method. We've done it all by the book. Mm-hmm. Those are the Musketeers and D'Artagnan.
Yep.
And that's the end of the review.
Moving on. I only have some notes, but not a lot.
My first note is we're doing everyone do your own accents.
Yep. Yeah.
We got Malkovich doing Malkovich. Gerard Depardieu is French. Jeremy Irons is British.
Yeah. Gabriel Byrne is a traitor.
He's actually the only non-traitor. He's the most loyal guy in the movie. He's just loyal to a piece of shit.
Correct. I mean, that's true. His job is to protect the king.
Yeah.
I just wrote that the old retired musketeers just hate having a hunky young king.
Yeah. Yeah, we can agree that that's sort of the thing behind everything.
Real bitter about it. Real sour.
They're just jealous of a hot young Louis XIV.
Yep. I also wrote that there was...
I was also kind of confused by it because I'm like, isn't Louis XIV regarded really well? I'm like, why is he such a little bitch in this movie? But you know what? They answer my question by the end.
Yeah. There was a very loose pronunciation of D'Artagnan.
There's a few different D'Artagnans.
For different ones because they're all speaking in their own accents and they all sound silly.
Yeah.
I wrote... they just completely skip any form of backstory or connection. You're just supposed to know these are the guys.
Yeah,
this is them.
I do like that the movie presupposes that you've read a lot of Dumas.
Yeah,
I like that.
You know all of the Musketeers. You know what happened in their later lives.
Absolutely, you know their relationship with D'Artagnan. Everything's good to go.
Good to go.
Here we are.
I wrote that it takes forever for anything to actually happen.
Especially to get one scene with the man in the iron mask.
Yeah. Yes. That the lead title of the movie is almost an afterthought at the first
it's like
hour 20.
Yeah, it's like close to an hour by the time we're getting like actual man in the iron mask scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Pierce.
Sorry, continue.
I'm just excited about Peter Sarsgaard showing back up of The Lie fame.
The Lie, yep. Yep. I was going to say that I did not think he was disheveled enough for being a man in an iron mask. Like, he should have looked worse.
Yeah, he cleaned up real nice and real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah.
And also, like, how long was the mask on?
6 years.
So he didn't do any kind of oral care for 6 years.
He looked all right.
He was fine.
He looked pretty good for that.
Yeah.
Given the circumstances, actually, I'd say great.
Yeah. Did really well.
Yeah.
I also wrote, like, Louis XVI. Like, he
14th.
wasn't... 14th. He wasn't as bad as they, like... made it seem he was.
He was mostly like a bitch.
He was bad.
He was bitchy.
But he wasn't, he was just like a whiny little bitch who was like kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
And like, okay, yeah, fine, he's spending all the money on the war. Like, when has that never happened before?
Oh, yeah, the kings never do that.
Yeah. Like, how many kings in history lived full lives without somebody accusing them of wasting money on wars?
3. George III.
Martin Luther.
And Orson Welles.
Orson Welles?
He was as much of a king as Martin Luther was. I'm like, what are we doing now?
Yeah, Martin Luther King. I
was thinking about the Protestant. I'm like, what?
No, Martin Luther King.
Fair enough.
And Orson Welles King.
Joey, if we're doing it that way.
Okay,
Joey King.
Joey King.
Of The Lie.
Not Zoe King?
I couldn't tell you. I've lost that thread.
Yeah.
I don't know if long hair Leo does it for me.
I mean, he's really young, so I'll let it slide.
That part was fine.
Yeah, I'll let it slide.
I didn't mind the youth. Too much, actually, especially when he's in bed with the woman he's cucking her boyfriend with.
Call her by her name,
Christine,
the concubine.
The concubine.
Catch my loads.
When they were lying in bed together, they looked identical.
Could have been two ladies.
I didn't like.
If
I
walked in naked, I wouldn't know which one to fuck.
No, I'm a short hair Leo guy.
Yeah, me too.
I want What's peak Leo?
Aviator? Well, before the end of the movie. The beginning of the movie.
I don't mind late Aviator.
But he's like long hair.
I know. No. Early Aviator. I don't know.
Catch Me If You Can.
Gilbert Grape.
Nah, too young.
Growing Pains.
Nailed it.
Django. He cute in Django. Don't act like you're not cute in Django.
Yeah, he's cute.
Okay.
He hunk. This movie had excellent wardrobes.
Yeah.
The costumes were
good
incredible.
Costume. Was it nominated?
Probably.
Did they have?
Yeah, costume design, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Scott, what a dumb question.
I don't know. I feel like one of those
Yeah, actually,
artistic awards is a newer one, even though it doesn't seem like it
Did you
should
say
be.
autistic awards?
I said
I heard autistic awards.
you heard what you wanted to hear.
Oh my god! Cover your fucking mouth.
It's fine. Grow up.
Fucking cocksucker.
Look, there's nothing that one of us has had that both of us haven't had.
Well, Scott, I've got some interesting news for you.
What you got for me?
I've got something you haven't got yet.
I'm at costume design, and I'm not seeing a lot.
Well, that's weird. Maybe the Academy didn't see it.
It's entirely possible. Did it get any sort of nomination?
Worst screen couple Razzie for Leonardo DiCaprio
Oh.
and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Cute. I like how snarky the Razzies are.
Yep.
Best costume design for 1998, Shakespeare in Love winner,
Yeah.
Beloved, Elizabeth, Pleasantville, and Velvet Goldmine.
What the fuck is Beloved?
Is it the Toni Morrison novel?
Oprah
Yes.
Winfrey, Danny Glover.
Yeah, it's the Toni Morrison thing.
Oh.
Directed by Jonathan Demme.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe we gotta watch it.
Yeah,
Although
we'll see.
there's a lot
Okay,
of
and-
Steve Harvey watchers in it.
Steve Harvey watchers. Especially Leo's wardrobe during the masquerade ball
Look great.
is incredible.
That okay.
that is like a piece of like a costuming like masterpiece that you will never be able to recreate something like that.
Yeah, the masquerade scene was what I was sure the movie was trying to get me to come around on long hair Leo, because I'm like, okay, this looks good, like the gold laurel wreath as the crown. I'm like, okay, this is nice work. I still want to chop that hair though.
Why? Because he looks too much like you?
Yes. I don't want to fuck me.
Why not?
I want to fuck a different
Would you
man.
fuck me? I'd fuck me.
I'd fuck me. I might be the only man I'd fuck.
That's not true. Adam
No?
Driver.
Damn it. You got me.
Steve Reinazizi.
I would fuck his ideas.
Yeah. That he survived 9/11.
That he made up a story about being a 9/11 survivor, which is very fun.
Very funny.
Again, I love unprompted shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't have to say that.
Nobody asked him, "Hey, Steve, were you
Are
in
you a
9/11?"
9/11 survivor? Oh, and then he like panicked and got put on the spot. No, he just made up a lie and told people. Very funny.
Very funny. Yeah, it's like, Steve, what were you doing on September 11th? Well, here's what happened to me. You'll never guess it. The only note that I have left, Scott. What the fuck was with the slow motion?
Oh, the
And then, like, it would go-
the low frame rate slow
Low
motion.
frame rate stuff. Yeah, and like it went from low frame
Not
rate
into it.
to no cut.
Yeah.
To then just regular.
back to
frame
regular.
rate.
Yeah, those
the
are
fuck
some
was that?
those are some choices.
That was weird.
That might be why it didn't get nominated for some stuff.
Yeah, really off-putting.
Probably the reason it didn't get nominated for editing at the very least.
Yeah, really threw me off.
Yeah, that was weird. I loved one line which, with Leo this young, I don't know how applicable it was to him then, but it's like they weren't asking Louis the 14th a question. It's like they were asking future Leonardo
Right.
DiCaprio a question. I think D'Artagnan says, "You're constantly surrounded by beautiful women. Do you love any of them?" I'm like, wow, that was for Leo the man, not the character.
Also, what's your cap? Divide my age in half and -8. Cap.
Upper. That's the ceiling.
Yeah.
It only goes down from there.
Down from there.
Yeah. Leo and the bitch have the same hair. It's like twins sleeping together.
The ultimate taboo.
The fucking schnoz on Depardieu, which would only get bigger over the next 24
Yes,
years.
yes.
It's amazing. It's the ninth wonder
For
of the
snorting
world.
coke.
It is for snorting coke. And they did not give me a satisfactory reason as to why Louis didn't just have his younger twin brother killed instead of imprisoned.
Because if you kill your twin,
They said some weird
then
thing.
you can't commit the ultimate taboo. What if in the future he wants to fuck his brother?
What if he wants to what if he needs to repopulate the earth?
Then how is he gonna?
How else could he have a pure bloodline other than by creating a baby with his twin brother?
Absolutely.
That's true. But yeah, they said something about the bloodline needing to be strong. There was no good reason
that was real
if you
vague.
wanted him out of the picture why you couldn't just kill him, because he seemed okay with killing other people.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that they really thought that far in advance.
Yeah, that seemed like kind of a glaring issue. I did like, for what a fucking narc D'Artagnan was, at the end of the day, he was a mom fucker, and I liked that.
He was a mom fucker, and he was the best of all of us.
And he was the best of all of us. Although I did feel like the whole issue could have been avoided entirely if he just like went to Louis XIV and said, I'm fucking your mom, I'm your dad now, knock it off.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, look at me. I'm the king now.
Yeah, exactly. This somehow had even less blood than Three Musketeers for the sword fighting scenes.
And also way less tits, which I didn't like.
And less tits. Very true, very true. But more naked man ass.
Yep.
With nude Porthos.
Yep.
Who was doing his best man called Uwe and comedically trying to kill himself for a good portion of the movie.
Yep. Yeah. Well, his wife died. He was sad.
His wife died and he was sad.
Gotta celebrate when your wife dies.
Yeah, and
living.
I like that they're planned to replace Bad King with his twin brother and then put the King in the Iron Mask and put him back in the prison. The plan worked for all of 2 minutes until D'Artagnan's like, well, that guy's not the king. He's acting different than the king and saying different things.
Yeah.
I think there's been some fuckery, and yeah, so I love that, like, because the whole movie was building up to this plan, and it like could not have
And
worked
it immediately
for a
backfired.
shorter amount of time.
Immediately backfired.
Anything else? Why is Malkovich a good guy? D'Artagnan is a fucking narc. And then at the end where good guy knew Louis, Philippe, because Peter Sarsgaard was Athos' son and Malkovich, and the king just basically like sent him to even though he was like an officer, sent him to the front lines of battle, and he was immediately killed. And so then. And then New King just goes to Athos at the end. He's like, basically like, hey, can I be your new son?
You want to be my daddy?
Yeah.
I need a daddy.
That was
you don't need a son.
I would describe that as an indecent proposal.
Yeah.
Will you be my dad, Athos?
Please be my daddy.
Yeah, that was weird. But there you go. The Man in the Iron Mask, which takes us to the reason we had the lunch we had today. Tampopo. 1985 from Landon. 3 minutes into this movie, I'm like, I need to have ramen for lunch tomorrow.
Spoiler alert. We did.
We did. It was great.
It was great.
We got extra noodle, K-dama.
Ramen Danbo if you live in Vancouver. Or
some other places.
New York.
Yeah, or Japan?
Seattle.
That makes more sense than
Vancouver, Seattle, New York.
the big three.
The big three.
Yeah.
Then get Ramen Danbo.
Really nice.
Yeah, very good.
Really.
The best ramen I've had.
It might be. It might be the best in town.
I would have said Ramen Gojira for a while, but then eventually they, fired all their staff, got new staff who were bad, and then the food sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. I
really enjoy going to a restaurant where it's empty, you're the only one there, and they still treat you like garbage because you're white.
I respect that. I do respect that a lot. So, Tampopo. I liked the little intro scene in Tampopo. It was very fun. With just it was it the gangster guy who shows up later? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like a gangster type going to the movies and talking to the camera.
Yeah.
I would like champagne poured for me at the movies more often.
This is also the invention of dick through the bottom of the popcorn. Unfortunately, it was so small that
Unfortunately,
they
were
find it.
Asian, so it didn't pan out, but it was a nice idea on paper. And then...
My penis is so small.
so small, not like a gigantic American penis. Basically goes to a guy in the row behind him who is crinkling little candy wrappers and says, if I hear one of those wrappers during the movie, I'll kill you. I'm like, this rocks. Like, because I had no idea what the movie was really. I'm like, is it like this sort of like fourth wall thing the whole time, or? But no, it was just like a little intro scene, and then we're into the movie, and almost immediately looking at delicious ramen.
So much delicious food.
Yeah.
Even the bad food still looked good.
The bad food looked good.
Oh, those noodles are... Can you see the water's not boiling, so those noodles probably aren't going to cook properly. Doesn't matter. Still looks
Noodles
fucking
look great.
delicious to me.
Give me the shit one. I
I
don't
like
care.
a little undercooked noodle.
Yeah, I like a firm noodle.
A little bit.
Yeah, not too. I don't want to crunch it. I'm
I like
not
a firm
crazy.
noodle. I like a firm butt. Mm-hmm. I like a firm other things. So yeah, the story is super hunk, full head of hair Ken Watanabe.
Yep, a beautiful
And
man.
other Japanese guy who kind of looks a little bit older Ken Watanabe.
Kind of, yeah.
There was definitely points where I couldn't tell them apart.
I mean, one's definitely
From a distance, I couldn't tell them apart.
The one guy, the main guy's definitely older than Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a woman trying to open a ramen store, played by Ken Watanabe. And then there's a guy at the restaurant who I
Also
believe
played by
is
Ken Watanabe.
Yeah, so you get so they're like truckers, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, or like transport guys or something.
Emphasis on trans. One of the first notes I make is, damn, that ramen looks fucking good. And for some reason, I was surprised that ramen looked basically exactly the same in 1985. I'm like, I don't know why it would be wildly different.
You don't think they're making any drastic
there have not been
scientific discoveries
a lot
in ramen?
of technological advances in ramen. I think it was perfected pretty early in the game, and now we're just riding out the clock, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Because it's great and I love it.
Right.
Yeah. So no notes. Carry on.
Perfect.
So they just stop in this. Yeah, it's just by happenstance, right? Yeah.
Chance.
They just stop in this little hole in the wall ramen place, and there's drunk guy causing trouble, and old Ken Watanabe.
Yeah.
Because the guy's like being a dick to the woman running the place.
The woman who owns it.
And they get into a fight, but the drunk guy has boys. And I guess he puts up a good fight, but there's 5 of them, so they kick his ass. And then he wakes up the next day in the ramen place, and then he's like, oh, I think I'll forego all my other responsibilities in the world and help you make this a better ramen place.
I'm gonna fix your ramen place. So the thing is that like her food is fine but could be better.
Yeah, they wanted to establish like she doesn't suck.
Yeah, she's just like a very average cook. Like she doesn't have the expertise or skills to make like top level ramen.
Her husband's dead.
Well, of course,
as husbands tend
do
to be
in Japan. The one note that I wrote about that was the one thing a Japanese woman is supposed to do: cook, and she kind of sucks at it.
0 for 1, lady.
0 for 1. Batting 0.
The opposite of rape. Call back to last half episode. So largely the whole movie is going different places and like finding ways to tweak and improve all the different aspects of what she's doing, occasionally interspersed with sort of little vignettes that don't really apply to the main plot. They're just
I think
other
it's just
cute
showing
little things.
the people that are like eating the ramen. Eating ramen.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, this person was in this restaurant that we see. What is their life? This. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, like, this is the next person.
Yeah, so you get you get the gangster back, and he and his main squeeze, I don't know, have a weird food fetish where just all food is sexualized.
Scott, that is an understatement.
Now you had some thoughts on this.
Well, so first I wrote that there was a noodle training exercise / montage.
Yes.
Of like getting her ready for, like, you gotta work real hard real fast.
Yeah.
And so there was like some running, there was just like timing her on cooking things,
Yeah.
and like mixing and cutting and stuff, which was very silly.
Which the end of which is, I don't honestly know if it's intentional or unintentional, the funniest thing in the movie. It's I let your eyes went crazy when I said that, because you were trying to remember exactly what it was. I'll tell you exactly what it was. They do the whole montage, and then it's when she's like running laps around his bicycle, and then the montage finishes basically, and he says a very reasonable question, actually. Why am I doing this?
That's right.
It was so funny. I'm like, yeah, why? Like, we haven't really established why any of this is happening.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Yep.
So, great. Carry on.
Yeah, so the sex scene, my note was, definitely was not expecting such a weirdly passionate, but also a very Japanese sex scene.
Yes.
So
We got tits.
we got some flat tits. So it's pour salt on the nipple.
Yep.
Then squeeze half a lemon on it.
Yeah.
With all of the seeds, and then suck it off. What the fuck are you doing?
Get those seeds out.
No seeds.
Idiot.
No goddamn seeds. What, you want to grow a plant in your tummy? Idiot. And
Which
then,
was the least upsetting of the food things.
yeah, were they eels or like?
I think it was like a fucking millipede thing or something.
Was it?
I don't know.
I thought it was like a
maybe it was sort of an eel. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
So he
it wouldn't be the first thing on my list of food sex things to do.
So he it's like, I don't know, some kind of slimy, long-looking, wiggly thing.
I don't know, a skink
that he puts under a bowl, a clear bowl
with some liquid in it,
on her tummy.
Yeah,
and it like swirls around, and she's like
and
laughing,
she gets the giggles, and
then
comes,
and then I guess comes. Then they decide to play Angel's Kiss with an egg
yolk. Angel's Kiss.
Very weird. And then also like they do it back and forth like 4 times.
A lot of times, yeah.
And then at the very end, she gets it, and then just sort of like
bites it, and then it like dribbles out her mouth like Terry Schiavo drinking buttermilk.
Also, if you're not familiar with Angel's Kisses, look it up.
Look it up.
Google search Angel's Kiss.
Thank us later.
And you'll be. I guarantee you'll like the way you look. I'm gonna look it up and see what it tells me. It's probably just gonna give me like the
Urban Dictionary,
the Urban Dictionary version of it. Angel's Kiss.
I think
Angel's Kisses, children's store in Surrey, British Columbia.
Oh. Well,
right.
I've got a plan for us tomorrow.
Stork bite. No, none. Yeah. Urban Dictionary is like the 4th one down. I guess it's also a medical condition where children are born with a red mark on their face that looks like lips. I guess.
Cute. Oh yeah, a medical condition, and definitely not the doctor kissing them.
Maybe. Damn, I was really hoping that I would open Google search and it would just be the first thing. Let's see. Sex thing. I don't know.
Angel's Kiss.
No.
The sex thing.
Even then, still nothing.
I guess you guys are gonna have to dig for it.
Angel's Kiss porn.
That'll get you there.
No. Literally just naked girls.
The fuck?
Essentially it's cum swapping.
Yeah. Via mouth.
Via your mouth.
Yeah.
So you go in her mouth, then she puts it in your mouth. And then you put it back in her mouth, and then she puts it back in your mouth.
And then she gets the dribbles at the end of it.
Because
the man always wins.
Because she's developmentally disabled, and you're going to jail.
There was no consent to any of this.
So is that the? Oh yeah. That's all I have for the sex scene. Then next comes one of the two most uncomfortable scenes in the movie, but I don't know if it's one or two. I haven't really decided. That is
what do you got?
That is the like. I don't want to say graphic. That's not like graphic, but the fucking dentist scene. I can't watch dentistry. I cannot watch like real things going in. Like the sounds of the drill. I've had too much dental work in my years to even listen to that noise. I just wrote dentist scene, baff.
Yeah, that's fair. So that's one or two, and then what's the other one or two? Or it's some of the food shit.
I like turtles.
Oh yeah,
which is coming up.
Yeah. So anyway, like as we're about halfway through, I'm thinking to myself, I think I really like movies with basically no conflict. Because there's no...
Yeah, the only conflict really is like the gangster guy kind of being a jerk a couple times.
Yeah.
And that's it. But that's like not
there's not really much interaction. Yeah.
Like there's no antagonist.
Yeah, like 90% of the movie is just trying to make a better ramen shop.
Yeah.
Like that's the movie. And I liked it. And then I'm thinking like, and I like, like Youth, which is just Michael Caine and Harvey Keitel walking around and waxing poetic. I'm like, I really like that movie too. I don't need stress in my life.
Yeah.
Just make me something nice. And this is something nice. Like I loved this movie.
Yeah,
I really liked it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I wrote accepting treats from a strange man in a trench coat, you deserve to be molested.
Yep.
The little girl who wasn't allowed treats and then he gave her ice cream.
And then Creep gave her ice cream.
Hey, if you're going to take it, you deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about vacuum cleaner CPR?
Yeah.
That's fun.
That was something. Yeah, so they're in. Yeah, and a lot of it is just her and them going to other ramen shops and like seeing what they do right, seeing what they do wrong, maybe trying to steal their recipe. Because sometimes she's a little bit sneaky. She did a couple sneaks in this movie.
Well, she's a woman, and women can't be trusted.
Because she did one where she tricked the chef into telling her exactly what he does with the noodles. Yeah. Because she went up and complained about her noodles. She's like, "You didn't make these as good as usual. Did you maybe not soak them for as long?" No, he's like, "No, I soaked them overnight like I always do." Or did you maybe not run them through the press? And I was like, "No, I ran them through 3 times like I always do." She's like, "Oh, I guess it's just me. Bye."
Yeah. Very good.
Pretty smart. Pretty good.
Clever girl.
And then she like stole a broth recipe. Yeah. Good stuff. And where's that
they're
going?
at one of the restaurants.
Yeah, and there's an old man with his like younger woman handler who, which I don't know, she's not a good handler because she just like brings him to the restaurant, tells him what not to do, and then leaves.
Yeah.
And then he does what she tells him not to do.
Well, if you're gonna tell me not to do it, that just makes me want to do it even more.
That's true. So he orders all the things she tells him not to, and then starts choking on them.
So he like collapses to the ground, and a couple people go over to like try and help him. So they roll him onto his back.
Yeah.
And somebody just grabs a shop vac and sticks the shop vac in his mouth.
Yep.
Just to try and suck it out of his throat.
And it works. So what's your problem?
And it works.
Trust the science. Until the science changes.
Is it Christian Science?
It is, as always, Christian Science. So then the old man, who's like an old rich guy, first he just like lends them his chef.
Yes.
Which is good for a ramen shop. And secondly, he's like, let me treat you to some soft shell turtle. And then
the worst scene of the movie.
We are treated to some soft shell turtle as we see a live soft shell turtle being stabbed in the neck and immediately bled out so that all the meat stays tender and we can enjoy our soft shell turtle. I didn't like it, and it was real.
I almost threw up. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was 100% real.
Yeah, they just killed the turtle. I don't know if you can do that no more. I mean,
yeah,
Japan can,
they call that one the stinger. They don't let you use that
they
one
don't let
no
you use
more.
that one no more. Yeah, I didn't love that. I've never had turtle. Apparently, it's delicious. And
I'm sure a lot of things are delicious if they're cooked correctly. I don't want to try them.
man,
Scott, it's not if they're big beef is lying to us about human shake if you eat human.
the most
They
dangerous.
want us to eat people.
They absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, we need to eat people. That's the way we cull the population. It's like you go and you kill a certain amount of deer or wild boar
Yeah.
every year. We have to start
People.
doing that with people.
We gotta cull people.
If you have no living relatives, we get to eat you.
That's fair.
If you are a lone human being with no bloodline, you
Yeah.
get eaten.
All orphans eaten.
Eaten. 100%.
Yeah. The sweetest meat.
The sweetest meat.
Orphan meat.
The saddest meat. Sad means sweet.
Yeah. And like apparently there is a species of giant tortoise, I think, from the Galapagos or around there, Darwin country, who was not given a scientific name for hundreds of years because they could never get one back to England to examine without people eating it because they were so delicious.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
I'm like, damn, I want to try that.
Well, we'll have to go to someplace weird where they let you eat weird things.
Where they let you
Gee,
eat
I don't know. Japan?
endangered tortoises.
China?
I think Asia's
John China?
usually the way to go. Well, we'll call our friend John China about it and see what he has to say.
The next note I wrote was so they go not really on a date, but it's kind of a date.
A little bit.
The food on the date looks so fucking
Oh.
good because it was like Japanese barbecue.
Yeah.
And like the meat was just, it looks so amazing.
Yeah.
That meat right now is growing trees because it's been shit out, turned into compost, and now there's trees that are 20 years old growing from that meat.
Yeah.
And it looked so goddamn delicious.
Yeah, there's man, there is so much like I want to have sex with food in this movie.
Yeah. Speaking of having sex with food, how about the creepy old lady with the crushing fetish?
Love her.
An old lady goes into a grocery store
Yeah.
and just starts
Just
mushing.
molesting food.
She molests a peach that then squirts at her.
Yeah.
She then starts molesting, I don't know, like something else.
Like some sort of kind of pie or something.
Yeah, pie.
Yeah.
And, something else. And the guy running the shop is like chasing after her to try and stop her.
The loss prevention officer.
Yeah. It's real weird. Like that's another one of those weird, just like
little
random
vignettes.
cutscenes.
Yeah, it's just like it's just other fun things with food,
Yeah.
basically. Because there's one other where they're doing like an etiquette class at a. They said that was spaghetti, not ramen, right?
yeah.
So I guess I don't know if it's an Italian restaurant or what. And
slurping.
and the woman teaching is like, if you make one fucking slurp sound, you will be executed. And then there's just like a sloppy white guy on the other side of the restaurant who is just sucking the shit out of his dinner.
Yeah.
And then all the girls in the etiquette class are like, oh well, he's doing it. Then it's just SlurpCon 85.
SlurpCon 85.
Write it down. That is the caption for this half episode. And
Steve Harvey watchers and
SlurpCon 85 done. That's one less thing I got to do later. They bring in Queer Eye for a makeover. They get her all pretty. Her name is Tampopo also, which means
the name of the movie. Is that what you're trying to get?
no, it means something. I can't. It's
Tampon.
I was gonna say it's tampon. Tampon pon.
Tampon pon.
I was gonna say butterfly, but it's not. I think it's something else.
That's papillon.
I think it's in Japanese. But Japanese for butterfly is papillon. I think it might be a flower, but I've forgotten. Luckily, it's irrelevant. they bring in Queer Eye. They get her all prettied up. They get the restaurant all prettied up.
Yeah, they do a full makeover.
Yeah.
Then there's a very over-the-top death scene. Very, like, get shot multiple times, but wave and flail and run backwards and do a back roll, and then get up again and then try to run away and then get shot 5 more times, and then do, like, some more over-the-top flailing, and then fall through a railing at a kid's playground or something.
Yeah, with the gangster we've seen a few times, he gets, gunned down gangster style and has a very silly death. And it's that his girlfriend's there, and his dying words were what? It was food related, but what was the deal? He's like,
you got.
Was it a recipe? Was it a?
It was instructions on how to cook something properly, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I think
it was a secret for something that he knew, like I don't know, make sure the noodles boil hot.
Yeah, that was it. This is
keep your foot off the pedal.
Keep your foot off the pedal. It's bugging me, so I'm gonna look it up. To convey his secret recipe for sausages. It was the intestine the pigs in winter only eat these sweet potatoes.
Yes.
So you gotta kill the pig and then immediately cut out the intestine, because it's just full of sweet potatoes and not poo.
Yeah.
and then here's how you cook that, and it's just the best.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Good dying words.
Good dying words.
Nice sweet potato sausages.
Yep. And then we get to close out the movie by showing close-up breastfeeding.
Yeah, final note. All closing credits should be shown over breastfeeding.
Well,
the end.
If this was Japan, they would be. They would be.
Yeah, but a movie I have heard was good and has a Criterion release, obviously, and those are usually good, and never got around to, so I'm glad I had a reason to watch it, because I really, really, really liked it.
Me too.
So, nice job, Landon.
I will be purchasing the Criterion at some point.
Hell yeah.
So I would like to have it.
Maybe if someone wanted to get a late entry for a movie request, could maybe send $50 and you could buy it right away.
But I'd have to split it with you, so they'd have to send us $100.
You know what? Go ahead and send us $100.
Number 8.
Bloodsport.
1988's Bloodsport.
From Yummy Child.
From Yummy Child.
Who always makes me say their names.
This is the movie that inspired the creating of the game Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Which is rad.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of backstory to this. I don't know. Do you want to do the movie first?
Yeah, do we talk about Frank Dukes first? Frank Dukes is funnier. Let's talk a bit about the movie's pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of notes, but
my first note, just as it was starting and all the scene setting, I don't know what, but I'm like, Reagan era movies have a vibe, and I'm ashamed to say I kind of like it, or maybe it's not all Reagan era film. Maybe it's just canon films, because they have kind of a particular aesthetic. But I'm like, I'm watching this. I'm like, this is for white men.
Straight white men.
These movies are for straight white men.
So why are we watching?
The end. And yeah, that's why I'm surprised that I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is it does not have the vibe that is for gay white cats.
You're not white, you're Indian. And I'm Mongolian, so
Your Honor.
Your Honor. This tiger is clearly Indian. You're gonna do the head shakes, the hand motions. You want to start with him? You want to start with the movie?
Let's do the movie.
Okay. So the beginning of the movie shows.
There's one note that I don't know if I can say.
You can say it.
Okay.
You can say whatever you want, Scott.
You know what? You've charmed me.
I'll
say it.
So the opening part is sort of showing all these fighter guys around the world doing a training montage.
Yeah.
Including Chun-Li kicking through blocks of ice How is that training?
Sorry, Chun-Li, the Chinese girl from Street Fighter, who does the hurricane kick.
That's the one.
Okay. Did she have little spikies on her wrist and hair palms?
She did.
Okay. Then that was Chun-Li.
It was Chun-Li.
And not Bolo Young as Chong-Li.
Chong-Li.
The best pecs in movie history.
Mr. Pectacular.
Mr. Pectacular can suck Chong-Li's dick.
Yeah. I got one interesting thing about him.
Oh.
So he was in Enter the Dragon. And this entire character is essentially him just doing things from Bruce Lee movies.
Nice.
So like spots or like character work or like
facials.
Everything is Bruce Lee. He even fights a Bruce Lee type guy.
He does.
The one that does like the big flexing with his upper body and then just gets murdered.
Yeah. That was him getting revenge on Bruce Lee.
But yeah, so like he breaks a bunch of ice blocks. Like, how was that training?
Don't know.
And then there's like the monkey dance fighting guy breaking coconuts.
That was the thing I didn't want to say. I'm like, he's literally a monkey.
He is though.
But like I'm not being racist.
No.
They're being racist.
They want you to think the racist thing.
They made him a monkey. I don't know what else I can say about it.
I don't know. I heard the thing I knew about that was that guy who's a Brazilian. When they were, I guess somebody at some point did research into it. Couldn't find a single thing about what style of fighting he was doing.
Monkey.
Because it's not capoeira.
It's not capoeira.
But like they were like, oh, there's like this thing.
If a monkey did capoeira.
Well, there's this thing called like, I think it's like monkey fu or monkey juju fu or something.
Sure.
That like, they're like, it's kind
Close.
of that, but not really.
Yeah.
And so it's just like a guy doing silly things.
Like he walks on his hands and feet.
Yeah. And does like rolls and stuff.
Rolls and spins.
Like chimpanzees do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
black.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were.
Well, I can't finish my sentence now that you've said that in the middle, so we'll just leave it.
Yeah.
What was up with the Chinese Arab?
I don't know. There's lots of mixtures, Scott. Not everybody keeps their bloodline pure.
Not everyone fits in your little boxes. That was weird because he was like a chic type, but also clearly Chinese.
Mexican and Korean? No,
that's too far.
Too far. Yeah, it was weird. But I like
because he went. Did he go to the semifinals?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did. When they find the big man Jackson, then the guy goes, Jackson, you really going to Hong Kong? And he says, I love anything full contact. I need some more scars on my face.
He's very cool.
He's a very cool guy. He's a ogre from noted rape movie Revenge of the Nerds.
Literally a rape movie.
I really enjoy a U.S. Special Military Commander who's Belgian and doesn't even try to not be Belgian.
Okay, can we talk for a quick sec about flashback to young Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Young Jean-Claude Van Damme was such an awful actor.
I am 100% convinced that the kid playing young JCVD was making fun of his accent.
Absolutely. I think that was an American kid that they told to do Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Try to sound like this idiot.
Yeah. You see this guy with the weird French German accent?
Do this. Yeah. Can you, if you can, and don't worry if you can't, but if you can, try to sound like a sillier Christopher Lambert. If you can swing that
completely accurate,
then great.
Completely accurate.
And guess what? Kid nailed it.
So this is Jean-Claude Van Damme's like first starring role in a movie.
Yeah,
really made him. So he's a U.S. military commander, but he decides like, I don't want to be in the military anymore. I'm just gonna like leave.
I think he still wants to be in. He just wants to go do this and come back.
Oh yeah.
But even that is too much for the military.
Well, the military doesn't want him to leave.
They don't.
So
they really don't.
he goes back to find his sensei, which is
Pat Morita.
Lao Che from Temple of Doom.
Not Pat Morita?
Nope.
Is it Short Round from
It's
Temple?
short round. And when he
No
gets
Time
there,
for Love, Dr.
so
Van Damme?
What we learn is that when he's a young boy, he gets caught by trying to steal things from
He gets caught.
his house.
He gets caught jerking off in a Japanese man's house.
Yeah, that's a bad thing. They'd be into that, Scott.
I know.
Eels.
I know. Sorry, he gets caught not jerking off in a Japanese man's
and
house.
that's why he gets punished.
How dare you enter
So-
my domicile and do not beat off?
Beat of. I wish I had written down what the character's name is, but I guess it doesn't matter. Does
Shang
it?
Tsung,
That's possible.
Shao Kahn,
Shere Khan.
Shere Khan,
Tanaka. How do I not remember that?
Masato or Minoru? Who's your guy?
Minoru Tanaka.
Hot take. Quick wrestling aside. Masato and Minoru Tanaka, two of the most underrated wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, I agree.
Fight me.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
You're speaking truth. Dropping truth bombs on this podcast.
And we're back.
So Tanaka is what he does is he convinces Jean-Claude Van Damme's parents to he'll train him in fighting to make him a better man.
Yeah.
But really he's just using him as a training partner to train his son. But then what we learn when he goes back to visit his sensei is that his son
Died of AIDS. I mean, it's 1988. It was AIDS, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
It was used to kill minorities and gays. So, and he's one.
Luckily, his son was both.
if not both of those. So he goes back to.
Son was giving someone the old hairy eyeball down at the pub.
So he goes and he says that he wants to enter the Kumite to avenge.
Sorry.
Avenge the death of his son.
Yeah.
Which then Tanaka says, you can't. Only Japanese can compete. You are not Japanese, even though it's in Hong Kong.
And there's lots of non-Japanese people.
The only thing I thought was I think he means to defend his son's honor.
Yeah.
He has to be Japanese.
I can't have a white
but whatever.
surrogate son. Disgusting.
There was the torture split scene was fucking insane.
Yeah.
And it was especially very gay with the 80s synth music.
Very gay. Yeah.
But-
I mean, yeah. I like a movie guy who has a signature move.
Yeah, which
and
how many times did he do it in this movie? 9
Jean-Claude
times.
Van Damme. I mean, I assume that's what got him the movie. Someone saw him doing the weightlifting while doing the
Do you know what his actual first movie role was?
I'm gonna say
You won't guess it.
I'm gonna say he was a thug in Dirty Harry.
No.
I'm gonna say he was one of the titular Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Close.
Okay.
Not really. He was a background dancer
Oh, he was a dancer.
in
Yeah.
Breakin'.
Yes. He is in
And
Breaking.
then afterwards, he went and found producers.
Yeah.
And was like, "Hey, I can do the fucking splits." And then they're like, "What's
They're like,
fucking movies?"
well, you get to be in movies
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh shit, this guy's the real deal."
Hold on. He can do the splits.
But this scene is fucking just shows how much of a goddamn beast he is.
He's a beast. I'll give him that.
The pull up out of the splits,
Sick.
Is
Yeah.
There's nobody else on the planet that could do that.
No,
He's the only human being that can do that.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. So yeah, all of his limbs are independently tied, right?
Yeah, he's being pulled apart by the ropes.
Yeah.
And he has to fight his way back up to proper posture.
And he's suspended.
Yeah.
Just by those limbs, so he has no leverage.
No. And so he just has to flex and pull himself back up
Yeah.
to proper strength, posture.
Yeah.
P.S. I follow his daughter on Instagram. She's really hot.
Nice.
Then what else did I put? So he meets Ogre, and they they're
Like,
playing
hey, do you want
video
to
games.
do you want to do rape?
And he's like, "You want to go? You're gonna go to Hong Kong?" "Oh, I'm going to do the Kumite." And he goes, "I'm also doing the Kumite." And they're like, "Cool. Let's be
best friends forever.
buddies."
Yeah.
So, but then I was like, a secret event that everyone appears to know about
Everyone
and
knows
everyone
about.
talks about.
Yeah.
This is the first rule of Kumite is tell everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just
an open secret,
They're just
like Bryan
constantly
Singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just constantly telling everyone about the secret event that they're not supposed to know about.
And like some reporter bitch knows about it.
yeah, like just everyone.
Yeah. Who tries to fuck her way into an invite.
Scott, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You're not going to try and fuck Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I'd do it even if I didn't get the invite.
Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, so now like he's gone rogue. He's
Yeah.
left the military. So the military police
They send their best men.
send their best man. One being young Forrest Whitaker.
Yep. And a guy.
and a white guy.
Yeah.
I wrote there's some very cheesy 80s power ballads.
For sure.
Then when they first get to the thing, they're trying to get in. There's a very old Chinese man who clearly doesn't speak English,
Yeah.
and he gives them the "Okay USA," and then
I love
they
it.
follow him in.
I love OK
very
USA.
very funny.
Yeah.
So then the Kumite essentially is like a single elimination tournament for in any style, kind of no rules. Like they don't
pretty
really
no
establish
rules.
that there are
It's just like
rules.
bare knuckle
and there's a
fighting.
lot of like groin stuff and like
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
like early
dirty
UFC.
fighting.
Yeah.
No weight classes,
Yeah.
no styles.
Joseon.
Joseon. So
Is it single elimination or was it round robin? I couldn't really get a
don't know,
handle
yeah.
on what the tournament style
I
was.
think it's supposed to be round robin because
people fought
and there's
a number of
brackets
times.
on the wall.
Like it's either like a 128 man single elimination or a less man round robin.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was in theory supposed to be a round robin, but it doesn't really follow that metric because you only get to see a certain amount of fights.
Exactly.
And it's always the same guys.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell. So Jackson, which is Ogre, he wins his first fight like pretty easily. And then he turns around and yells at Chong Li, the current champion,
Yeah, for no reason.
who last year murdered a man,
Killed a man.
and he's like shit talking the guy.
Like you're next.
Yeah, he fucking Goldbergs him.
You slant-eyed motherfucker.
It's like, why would you threaten the man who's killed a guy?
Yeah, unprovoked.
You idiot!
Like Chong Li is the antagonist of the movie, but he hadn't done anything.
No, you didn't know he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
Then so during the first round, there is very clearly a guy who does not know how to fight for camera. The guy who first fights the monkey fighting guy, who's like throwing these wild like overhand NBA player fighter punches. Like he just clearly does not realize how to throw
Bunch of Kareem Abdul skyhooks.
yeah. Like he doesn't realize like, oh, the camera's here and maybe I should like turn my body to fight. He's just like like it looks awful.
Yeah.
Awful. One very cool thing is that Jean-Claude Van Damme's fighting gear in this is the Belgian flag.
Yes.
Because he's got black pants with a yellow and red belt.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Also the German flag.
Then the monkey fighting guy loses to I don't know, fucking Antonio Inoki with a bear hug.
Yep.
And then the next fight is it Jean-Claude Van Damme versus Antonio Inoki? And then he just like
Might be.
punches him
And
in the
he's
dick. And it's
yeah.
like, oh, I guess low blows are legal.
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
You just can't
Well,
fish hook and eye gouge.
yeah.
Or you can do whatever the fuck you want. Who cares?
Yeah.
So then like that round, and then Jackson ends up fighting Chong Li.
Yeah.
Who then he's like clearly he's kicking Chong Li's ass.
Yeah.
But then he has to USA.
Got to
So
USA.
he just like, yeah, I'm a man. I'm a man.
Back to him like a
And he's
goddamn
just
idiot.
like fucking like USA, 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 and then turns around and gets his fucking ass kicked.
Yeah,
Gets just like beat to shit.
Yeah, put in the hospital.
Put in the hospital. He steals his Harley Davidson bandana.
Yeah. Now he's a bad guy.
Now you've crossed the line.
Yeah.
So that's like that round, and then like while they're waiting to go to the next round, the military police have gone to the local police to try and get help, and the local police, surprise, surprise, in an Asian country, are like, I don't know, he's not fucking here. Go, maybe he went to another country. Go find him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not helping you.
This is our problem. How?
Yeah. But eventually they convince the police to like give him a couple guys to help.
Yeah.
So they corner Jean-Claude Van Damme, who then just like very easily dispatches of the local police.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like that might lead to more of an international incident, like
Probably.
an American beating the shit out of Hong Kong police.
American.
For the purpose
He beats up like 4 police officers, and it's just like, nah, it's cool, whatever.
One little thing I liked was the Forrest Whitaker and friend were eating at like an outdoor restaurant when they like
Yes.
when they got a tip where he was, so they're like, oh, we gotta go.
Yeah.
And when they go, they stand up and one of their plates falls on the ground, and then a loose dog comes by and will not touch the Chinese food.
Well, the funny thing about that
because that would be cannibalism. We got him.
The funny thing about that is if you're a tourist and you go to an Asian country and you see a restaurant where it's only a bunch of tourists eating there,
don't eat there.
The food's shit.
Yeah.
Go to where the locals are.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
And I do the same thing here. Like, we go to the ramen places full of Asian people, not white people.
Where they look at us like we're disgusting pigs.
Yeah, but they give us nice food.
But they give us nice food?
Yeah.
So yeah, then after he's beat up the Hong Kong police and the MPs are like, well, you're coming back to America with us, he very easily convinces them to let him fight.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even take a lot of convincing. He's just like, hey, like, I can win this tournament and then I'll come back. And they're like,
yeah, okay. Oh, well, I guess he makes a fair point.
They're like, yeah, all right, chill. Let's chill. And then not only that, they also just go to the fights and cheer him on.
Yeah, and that's the end of that plot.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we get down to the final fight, which obviously is Chong Li and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Couldn't believe it.
At one point, Chong Li just gives him the old sand. But I guess it's hallucinogenic sand or something.
I don't know. I think it just really fucked his eyes up.
It just made him blind.
Yeah, it made him fully blind for a while.
But then, yeah, so he really can't see. Then they.
But he had done some blindfold training. With Tanaka.
So he knew. But it gives you one of the absolute like iconic 80s like actiony things of when he sort of does like the Hulk up.
Yeah.
Of like where he like flexes really hard and just like screams like a crazy person.
Yeah.
And then just kicks his fucking ass.
Yeah, it was also weird because for every other fight, the fighting surface was just a flat square.
Yeah, this
and then
was
they did a weird they turned it into a half pipe.
Yeah.
For the finals.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's weird.
I think that's a karate thing. I'm not 100%, but I think
I'm like, this has to be something, but it's weird not knowing.
I think it's something about like because like pushing off from a higher angle or something weird like that. But yeah, kicks his ass and then just like goes back to America. No, like, all right, guys, I told you I was cool.
Yeah, we did it.
Like,
yeah,
see ya. Let's go.
The end.
Like, no problems.
And then we get a little text.
Some text at the end
of the great. This movie is dedicated to the brave Mujahideen fighters of Afghanistan. No, different great '80s movie text.
So this movie is written or based on and written by, I guess. So Frank Dukes.
Yep.
Spelled D-U-X.
Yep.
Who was okay? So he was like just a guy who showed up in Hollywood and told everyone that he just got back from Hong Kong where he won a Kumite and it's a real thing and don't look it up and don't ask anybody about it because nobody's going to tell you anything because it's a secret fighting club that only I know about and I'm the winner.
Yep.
He also claimed to be a former undercover CIA operative, but he couldn't tell you what he did.
Because it's a secret. What part of undercover and secret is throwing you off?
I don't know, Scott. A lot of it? All of it? So he like pitched this story to Hollywood execs who were like, "This guy's like the ultimate badass."
This is the coolest guy the 80s has ever produced.
And some of the very, very funny statistics that he not only told them, but also appear on the end credits, that he was
Never lost.
He was 329-0 in any formal official fighting thing.
A real Hickson Gracie.
He had 56 knockouts in the Kumite.
Yep.
He held the record for most consecutive wins in a Kumite with 36.
Yep.
He also had the fastest knockout by punch at .21.
But a fraction of a second.
A fraction of a second. As if they would time punches in a Kumite.
It's very efficient.
And also, like, maybe, like, one of the fastest submissions, maybe they said, or something.
Probably. I'm guessing he has most of the records.
There is absolutely no proof that Kumites ever existed. No one other than Frank Dukes has ever said there was a Kumite. Also, there is absolutely zero record of him being a CIA. He was a Marine Reserve who never left the United States.
I'm guessing maybe he spent. Look, I'm giving him all kinds of benefits of the doubt. Maybe he spent
doubt your benefits.
a little time in East Asia. Maybe he even found a little. Not like that.
Aww.
Not Thailand.
Frank Dukes wasn't a sex tourist?
And maybe.
Or Tyson Dukes.
Tyson Dukes.
Did he get his name from Frank Dukes?
Maybe.
Oh.
And maybe he found a little fight club type thing when he was there. And maybe they had a little tournament and he came third. That's what I think happened.
Yeah. Maybe
Frank Dukes is one of the biggest liars in American history.
Or even he same thing.
Yeah.
He found an underground fight club.
Yeah.
He went in. He managed to win the first fight.
Yeah.
Then realized that the rules weren't exactly what he thought they were going to be, and he quit, a la Steve Blackman. And then said he was undefeated.
That also possible.
Yeah.
Also quite
Never
possible.
lost.
Yeah.
Never lost.
But he's such a fucking liar.
Such a fucking liar. There's also video of him just like doing like karate stuff on like morning talk shows, but it's all just like complete physics and magic.
Yeah.
Like none of it is real. So, but like of course like news anchors are not going to call you out on your shit.
Yeah.
So they're just like, "Wow, oh my god. I can't believe you just did that."
Yeah, but any Frank Dukes interviews you can find, you'll enjoy them.
Yes.
They're all funny.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloodsport.
Blood sport. Also glad that I got to like relive this movie because I do actually genuinely really like it.
Oh, it's super fun.
Yeah, really, really fun.
Yeah. Which brings us to 1990's Meridian, Kiss of the Beast / The Ravaging / Phantoms, not the Ben Affleck one.
Yo, Affleck, you was the bombs and Phantom,
The bomb and Phantoms. But it's mostly Meridian. That seems to be where it's mostly found under. From our boy Tommy.
Tommy.
Number one note, and really the rest after this are superfluous, except one which is also important. But number one with a bullet, I want to fuck Sherilyn Fenn in half.
Yes.
Can I be clearer?
Now or then?
Then.
Okay.
I want like Twin Peaks Sherilyn Fenn. Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not now?
Actually, I think she's fine now. Actually, unless I'm wrong and she's a beast now.
Look it up, Andrew. Look it up.
But yeah, like early '90s Twin Peaks. Audrey, second Audrey of the podcast, or Aubrey Edwards. Audrey Edwards.
Oh god damn it! I hate you.
Sorry. But yeah, she's. I think she's fine now.
I don't know. She's
she's not fine now.
She's old looking.
Yeah. But yeah.
What
anyway,
if I told you
not now, then.
She was kind of chunky?
I don't mind it.
All right. More meat pushing in the seat cushion.
Is that a thing, or did you just make that up?
It was genuinely a pornographic DVD that I bought when I was like 19.
Meat pushing in the seat cushion.
In the seat cushion.
That is
all anal.
A fun spin on a classic.
Yeah, I know.
I love it.
I believe it's still in my childhood closet at my parents' house.
Nice.
Yeah. Meat pushing in the seat cushion.
So Sherilyn Fenn inherits a castle?
Yep. Yep. She owns a castle.
And her main contact at the castle is an older woman caretaker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where do I know her from? I'm like, oh, she's the blind bitch from Don't Look Now. I'm like, wait, is Tommy a huge Hillary Mason fan?
The answer won't surprise you.
Yes. Loves her. I hope she shows up in every movie you recommended. I mean, she could be in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. I hope she is.
I guess, yeah. The time frame works out.
Yeah. But, yeah, that was interesting to see her twice in 2 of her movies. But, yeah, so she inherits a castle, and then she's got a friend who's restoring artwork that kind of goes fucking nowhere. but that, like,
you're saying that's not a main plot point?
Not really. But she's doing it the whole movie. And I think it's supposed to be a series of reveals that, like, none of which land. Because they find this, like, super, like, this, like, I don't know, 16th century painting, and she's like, I can restore it. And restoring it appears to mean, like, just rubbing the paint, and then other paint reveals itself.
Can confirm she's not in It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World.
Oh, I like that you're looking it up. And,
yeah.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, and then yeah, I don't. It's not even worth bringing up.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got one note on the painting thing.
Okay.
Well, I just wrote the painting reveals the present. Why? What was the point?
Yeah.
Even though it revealed the present, that's it. That doesn't help anyone.
We're in the present.
Yeah.
We can look around.
It's showing you the thing that's already happened
now. Yeah. What was it for?
The first note I wrote was, oh look, a midget Aladdin, because he appears from like a tiger mouth or something.
Oh yeah.
And then also just like a circus.
Yeah, sort of a freak show circus
A
thing.
circus appears in her backyard.
It sort of was in her backyard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me. I like, because they didn't like travel to it.
Yeah.
It was just there. Yeah, her friend was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the circus in the backyard?
My own private circus."
Yeah, I guess we'll go.
Sure.
And then they do some circusy things, and then they go backstage.
Yeah. Well, I wrote so like I guess one of the backstories of the castle is that it was built or something, and then somebody did something to kill somebody, and then all of the king turned all of his enemies into stone.
Yeah.
But then there's some really very weird, like one of them is like one guy setting the other guy up for a Walls of Jericho.
Yeah.
And then there's another guy that appears to be like bending over to present his asshole.
Yeah, that one guy was like just goatseeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were those guys doing when they got turned to stone?
I would love to see the moments leading up to those petrifications.
What if it's like, okay, guys, in 5 minutes, you're all turning to stone. Start fucking each other.
Get in a cool pose, because it's this forever.
It's this forever. Then what did I... Oh, I wrote, when they go to see the sideshow thing, It's literally the worst sideshow because they're all on stage at the same time. It's like 3 seconds. Like, seen it, done. Move on.
It could be organized a little better.
It's not one at a time.
Yeah.
It's everybody.
Here's everyone. Check them out. Bye.
It was so poorly orchestrated.
Yeah, it was, and it seemed like they've been doing it for a while
Yeah.
too. And they're like, "Yep, this is the formula."
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's very true.
Yeah, so then they decide to have dinner.
They go backstage, invite the freaks to dinner, and they're like, "Oh, we couldn't possibly." She's like, "Come on," and then yeah, okay, they do.
I was very much hoping for one of us, Google
Yeah.
gobble, Google
I
gobble.
do
but
love
it
a good Google
didn't
gobble.
happen.
No, too bad.
But we did get, I don't know, Italian? Is this Italian? Are there Italians involved?
they could be.
Like,
It's a full moon picture, so
Italian Doctor Doom appears?
yeah.
Yeah, he's Doctor Doomy.
Yeah, he's a man in an iron mask.
Oh, I hope this one's more entertaining.
Me too.
P.S.
It is.
Yeah, so he appears and sort of like woos her. Meanwhile, the LP of the group gives her the old Rohypnol,
Yep.
rape drug.
Here we go, straight up rape drug.
Rape drug.
Yeah.
So yeah, he carries her upstairs into a bedroom. He then removes all of her clothes. I don't know, does he like get on top of her while fully clothed and then like leave? Or does he have sex with her?
I think he might have sex
I think
with
he
her.
also has sex with her.
Yeah.
So he, while fully clothed, has sex with her. I also wrote pretty decent tits.
Pretty decent tits.
Then Scott.
What's that?
Twins, Basil. Twins. Then the other twin.
A classic switcheroo.
This is the second movie where a twin is forced to wear a mask.
That's correct.
What?
We've got a theme.
What
going.
is our life? Is this real life? Will this be forever? So,
Drew after dentist?
Drew after dentist. So the twins tag out.
Yep.
There's a hot tag. So masked twin leaves.
Yes.
Other twin who appears to maybe be more of a nice guy.
He seems chiller.
He comes in.
Yep.
And nothing bad happens.
He also rapes her.
He also not only does he also rape her. Wolfman's got nards. He TFs into a werewolf.
I just had the Notepad app, but I did insist on doing it all caps and a bigger font. TF during rape?
TF during rape.
What is this, the best movie I've ever seen? Where's this movie been all my life? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I actually, to be honest, considering how much like horror I watch, bad horror I watch, and like just things about horror I read, I'm surprised I had never heard of this.
Yeah.
I did not on my radar that there was a werewolf TF rape movie.
Right?
Yeah, that it wasn't made by me in my spare time.
Yeah. But regarding the rape, a phrase I find myself saying all too often. I mean, yes, she was drugged, but she also seemed like pretty with it ish
I mean,
at the time,
she was
and
definitely feeling it.
not. She was not saying no.
She took the knot. She did.
No,
Like she was alert enough to realize she was having sex.
yes, it's not technically a werewolf.
No,
They do only refer to it as a beast.
Well, I think it's kind of Beauty and the Beast, isn't it?
It's largely
Largely
Beauty
Beauty
and the
and
Beast. And the Beast it's very werewolfy, but they don't say werewolf,
Right.
which I appreciate because Big Dog doesn't have to have its hand in everything. We can at least keep it a little vague, and it doesn't have to be a fucking dog every time.
You'd prefer a were-jaguar.
I'll take a were-jaguar.
Yeah.
I'll take,
Were-rabbit.
sure.
Yeah.
A little,
Wallace and Gromit.
little Wallace and Gromit. Yeah. Yeah. No tail.
Yeah, no tail.
So points off on that one. But otherwise an okay design.
Yeah, I've seen worse.
Yeah.
I've seen worse.
I thought I liked the ears actually. Big pointy ears.
Yeah, big pointy ears.
Yeah. I liked it.
That's why he was just a beast and not a wolf.
Yeah, so good. And yeah, then from there it's pretty Beauty and the Beastie.
Yeah, then it gets very beautiful.
From there. Yeah. So basically the deal is good
well, I think it's that they've been cursed.
Yeah.
And the only way to free them of the curse is that I think this is what I got.
Yeah.
That the bad brother, the first rapist who's not a beast.
Yes. I wrote down a thing.
He's
yeah.
inherently evil. Like he acts evil. And the good brother, the wolf rapist brother, is actually the good guy.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's only raping her to get her to fall in love with him.
Which, P.S., works.
Well, give me a second.
Okay.
So he has to rape. He has to get her to fall in love with him.
Look, he has to rape. He has no choice.
He has to get her to fall in love with him, so that the curse can be broken. And like he wants to die.
Yes.
And
because enough. Look.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
I'm done with this. So
enough already.
He wants her to fall in love with him because the only way for him to die is to be killed by someone he loves.
And it has to be killed by the lady of the castle.
Yes,
and she has to be in love with him.
She has to be in love.
Very specific stipulations.
That only goes for him, not the brother, right?
Yeah.
The brother is but he's also cursed. But he's just not a beast.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. I mean, that might throw a little wrench into my final thought on this. But so the lady of the house has to be in love with him to kill him.
Yeah.
And then ultimately is she in love with him or is it just Stockholm syndrome?
Oh, I mean,
is it that she's been drugged and raped and now she's sympathizing with her rapist?
What is love if not the purest form of Stockholm syndrome?
You've awakened my inner thoughts.
Makes you think.
So yeah, maybe it is love.
Yeah. What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Exactly. And I believe if I'm to understand the explanation at the end of the movie correctly, the reason the curse was initially put in place is Lawrence, I believe the bad brother, as he described it, fell in love with a lady that was his daughter.
Is that what it was?
That is my understanding.
I thought it was something like...
Or maybe it was the king's daughter.
Both brothers fell in love with a wizard's daughter.
Yeah.
And during them fighting, she got killed and the wizard cursed them.
Yeah. Yeah, but fell in love with I guess the his didn't refer to him, but Lawrence fell in love with a lady that was his daughter was just a weird way to phrase it.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have 2 notes left. One of them just is ghosts.
Yeah, so she had seen, I think, the ghost of the initial girl that both had fallen in love with, and then the ghost disappeared when she tried to show her caretaker lady. And P.S. Her caretaker lady is also a fucking ghost. Because when she did something with the fucking painting, the guy said, "Oh, what do you mean?" She said this about the picture. That you mean that woman who died 40 years ago? I'm like, all right, you got me, movie. One other note I had pertaining to what we already said. How fucking fast did she fall in love with him after that rape?
Yeah.
So fast.
He's got the good dick.
Got that good wolf dick.
Yep. Or not wolf dick. Beast dick.
Beast dick.
So the last note...
Beast is like the gender neutral version of were creatures. Like, hey,
he's a werebeast.
Don't assume he's a wolf. You don't know.
He's a werebeast.
He's a they them beast.
Beast. So the only note I had left
you know what? I appreciate your restraint because I know you were thinking it in saying, aren't all they them's beasts? And I'm glad you didn't, even though you were thinking it.
Yes.
The views of Drew on the podcast.
Hey, you want to turn down that helicopter?
Why is there a plane right outside your window?
God damn it. Now you ruined the podcast. Let's record.
Show's
re-record. Yeah, the last note that I wrote, but now that we've talked about it, I'm thinking about it. Maybe this note isn't as like relevant or doesn't work because like they end up getting to the point where Wolf Brother kills Bad Brother. Mm-hmm. But then I was like,
with a crossbow.
But so like I just said, you can only be killed by true love of the lady of the castle.
Yes.
But you can just shoot your brother, and that's good enough.
Yeah, maybe the brother isn't even cursed. Maybe but I think they've been alive for a long time.
Yeah, they've been alive for a long time. So like, only the brother who's a where they them is
I would love to be aware they them.
Is cursed to be killed by her, but the other guy can be killed at any point.
He can just kill his
so
brother.
Then why wouldn't he have just killed his brother like 1,000 years ago?
Unclear.
Like why did he have to live with him this whole time? Unless he also wanted to commit the ultimate taboo while being a beast.
Oh. Now you're talking.
Is there porn of it?
I think you've talked your way out of this. I think you've wrapped it all up, and it makes a lot of sense now.
It's very possible.
Yeah. My last note is I never fucking get the whole beast curse thing. Like, oh, what, you get to look more awesome sometimes? Oh no! What a fate!
Yeah, I always remember thinking like in the original, like the Disney animated one, like. What's so bad about being this like super strong,
super rad,
jacked,
yeah,
like constantly murdering a monster? There's nothing bad about it.
What is the downside?
Yeah, I just don't.
I view that movie as a tragedy. When he TFs back to human, one of the saddest moments in movie history.
Of all time. Of all time.
Yeah. That's fucking short-haired Leo DiCaprio falling off the crate at the end of Titanic.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Meridian.
It's Meridian. So I think we fucked up. Because we rearranged things.
Oh, and we put two of these right back to back.
Put two of them right back to back after we moved things so they wouldn't be back to back.
Well, that's funny.
Because we're stupid.
All right. Well, here's Tommy's other movie.
I hope you enjoyed back to back, Tommy. I wonder if he thought we weren't going to do two of his.
He'd be crazy to think that.
He would be crazy to think like that.
So our other Tommy movie is 2021's The Scary of 61st, a title I hoped would be explained to me over the course of the movie, and sadly was not. The Scary. What the fuck?
Hold on. I'm.
You got something? You're cooking something up?
Nope.
Okay.
Doesn't work.
The wheels were turning, so I appreciate that.
I was just trying to figure out why it's The Scary.
There's no reason.
There's literally no way to make it make sense.
Yeah.
The way that it is.
Even grammatically.
Yeah.
You can't have the scary. Scary is an adjective.
But also I'm gonna maybe
you're gonna show me as much of your legs as you can.
Maybe this is out of bounds. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
But judging by the writer, director, and star of this movie, maybe she's just fucking retarded.
Maybe Dasha Nekrasova is just a dumb bitch.
Just a stupid bitch.
I mean, look, if you could fuck anyone from Cumtown, and
that's not Nick?
No, anyone.
Oh, okay. Nick's on the board.
Nick's on the board. And you chose Adam Friedland. That's the kind of person we're talking about. Because I assume she had her pick.
I don't know if Nick would have.
No.
But the rest of them, yeah.
Star Wars would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a human woman.
Yeah.
Well, so this was kind of a serendipitous movie pick because Tommy had no idea that co-writer, sole director, and co-star, Dasha Nekrasova, is Cumtown adjacent.
Yeah.
I think he just picked it because I think it's Epstein related, which, a good enough reason in and of itself.
Sure.
But added bonus of Cumtown host, Adam Friedland's ex-fiance and noted bitch with a leftist podcast. Who is getting like too many legitimate acting roles. Like she's on Succession and some other shit.
Playing a pig.
Oh, I play the pig on Succession.
Oh, I'm one of the pigs in the background on Succession.
Background pig.
Background pig.
Yeah, I don't like to go after people's looks, even though I'm gorgeous and could.
You know what? I will say this. You are very handsome.
Thank Andrew.
That doesn't mean that I'm not going to say mean things about you. Just because you're handsome doesn't mean I'm not going to hurt you. Scott, I've hurt prettier people than you.
Write that down. I'm not going to use it for the description. That's just a sentence I want to remember. Just because you're handsome doesn't mean I'm not going to hurt you. Wow, if that doesn't sum up Drew. But I don't like the way Dasha looks.
No, me neither.
She's got a pig nose. She's got a very prominent mole on her chin. That's distracting. And I think above all, and I don't mind picking at, because this is easily fixable, resting bitch face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't care for it. She seems like a generally unpleasant person, which does fit Adam Friedland's dating model.
Date and time.
Date and time. Thank you. It's official. We'll put it on the gold record. So, yeah. So we're even.
Well, here's the thing. It's bad. It's really bad. It's
really bad.
It is like...
I'm guessing you haven't seen it, Tommy. I'm guessing you saw it was an Epstein movie and recommended it.
I'm going to assume that also.
Yeah.
But he sent me a message.
Was it explicitly pornographic?
No.
Okay.
He said, oh, damn. No, he said, haha, legit wouldn't know where the scary of 61st would sit with you. And that's it.
Well...
Because I letterbox reviewed it and he read it, which I've been trying not to do. I've been trying not to put any of them up before the podcast.
Gotcha.
Just in case like somebody sees it. So I'll just read you my review of it.
Hit me.
Stop calling this ambitious. This is what happened when someone gets minor success on something else and thinks they have creativity and can do anything they want. 1/2 of a star.
Very nice. There was one other real nice. This is Eyes Wide Shut for women with brain damage.
Yes.
I really like that.
Also, there was Rest in Peace r/Cumtown.
Yep.
You would have loved the scary of 61st.
Absolutely. Yeah. I guess it's an exploitation movie where, I don't know, white women are the ones being exploited.
Listen. First of all, Tommy,
go fuck yourself.
No. I mean, at least
you're lucky. You're lucky. Look, fella.
Listen here, fella.
You're lucky you built up so much goodwill with Sherilyn Fenn and TF Rape.
That is true.
That we could stomach this.
That is true. What I was going to say, at least you picked one that has the possibility of interesting dialogue and funny jokes. You didn't fuck up.
Yes.
Unlike people who did fuck up. You picked something that is has potential.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not going to try and dissect the thought process of this movie because this movie made me a conservative Republican. This movie made me...
Women shouldn't make movies.
Going forward, I am anti-abortion.
Okay.
Anti-gay. I'm going to Texas to vote against trans rights.
Okay.
And...
Get out of my bathrooms.
P.S. I'm going to kill you. Right now.
Okay.
You, Scott Hansen, I'm going to kill you
right
now.
Okay.
No, I don't want to, you can sit here and be like, oh, like yeah, this oh, it's so brave. Oh, you took this very sensitive topic and you turned it into a movie that's really bad and shot very poorly in your apartment.
There were so many shots where there was a hair on the camera.
On the lens, there was hair on the lens.
So many.
And Scott was like, maybe you just have a dirty TV. I'm like, no, because it's only in half of the shot.
Yeah, when they cut, I'm like, oh, well, I guess there's not a crack in your TV.
Yeah.
I guess it's a fucking hair on the lens.
So here's the fucking gist of the movie. So these two young bohemians, who I thought were fucking dykes,
One or both or the entire cast of the movie may be autistic.
Everybody in the movie is on the spectrum.
There's like a through line of high functioning autism in this movie.
Absolutely. So two girls are moving into an apartment in New York. I will say one of them very hot. Except I lost complete interest in her
until she
about halfway through
humiliated herself.
Yes.
She started hot. So I never want to see her again.
Never.
No.
And don't worry, Scott. I don't think you're gonna see.
Not going to see a lot of Betsy
DeVos. I don't know.
I was going to say Betsy DeVos.
Oh, what other Betsy?
Former Secretary of Education.
Betsy Russell.
Betsy Ross. She sewed the flag.
So they're moving into an apartment in New York, and there's like some,
on 61st Street.
There's like some weird vibe in the apartment.
Yeah.
And the first night they go to sleep, one of them sleeps on an air mattress in the basement, and there was like a fucking really stupid line when they were like,
"You're gonna have to narrow it down, Drew."
So they were drinking White Claw, warm White Claw,
room temp,
and the hotter of the two. Not the hotter of the two, because the other one's ugly. The hot one says, "Hey, can I sleep in your bed tonight?" She says, "I'm not drunk enough to sleep with a woman.
I'm not drunk enough to share a bed with someone.
Share a bed with someone, especially someone who's drunk and on drugs."
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
What?
Wait.
What?
You only share a bed when you're drunk?
What? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I'm not a big consent kind of girl.
No. So they sleep separately, and the attractive one starts like having like a weird sex dream.
Yeah.
Like she's being molested.
Oh, is she
by
wearing
an entity?
Is she wearing a t-shirt that is the Hollywood sign, but instead it says sisterhood?
Cool.
You betcha.
Sick. Rad. Women empowerment. I love it so much.
Hashtag yes all women.
Hashtag justice for Johnny, so I can remember it in 2 weeks. So then, a person shows up who claims to be a realtor. No, the fuck is Dasha's character?
What the fuck is Dasha's character? She's just a bitch.
She shows up and says she's something.
Yeah.
And then when she gets in the apartment, she just like starts spilling the beans to the other ugly one. That like, oh, well, this apartment used to be owned by Jeffrey Epstein and a bunch of stuff happened here.
It's literally Teen Girl Squad from Homestar Runner. It's cheerleader, what's her face, and the ugly one.
Yeah, 100%. Except for there's two ugly ones.
Yeah.
And so
I'm giving too much credit to what's her face.
The very first scene is she comes in the house, and the ugly one, her bed stinks. So she's cleaning the sheets off the mattress, and there's like blood and cum stains on the mattress.
Yeah.
And Dasha walks in, immediately sees it, and has to go vomit in the bathroom.
Retch in the toilet.
And then when she goes to like give her water and stuff, and she's like, Epstein owned this house, and I don't know, he probably, like, literally the dialogue is, I mean, maybe he kept his slaves here, or he
had their orgies.
Or had their orgies.
Or an orgy flop house.
Orgy flop house. Like, cool dialogue. So
the P.S. all of the dialogue, dog shit.
Oh, it's some of the worst written dialogue. Like, it's not how human beings speak.
Yeah.
It's how, like, you would read somebody type something on a subreddit.
Yeah.
So the entire thing of the movie is she doesn't believe that Epstein killed himself. She thinks that the Clinton Foundation,
the Clinton crime family,
yes, had him killed.
Which, look, Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
correct.
The movie got one thing right.
Hey, it ain't cheating, especially if they're 12. So so they recreate the supposed hanging yourself,
Yeah.
which doesn't work. And
But like, in the context of the movie, what if it had? Then just Dasha's dead?
good. Fuck her.
It's one less Dasha.
One less bitch. So like the rest of the movie is that the attractive one then begins to start acting weird, while Dasha and the other ugly one decide to like go do more investigation into like the details of Epstein owning this apartment, and they go in and they find tarot cards in the apartment, and they're like, we got to go figure out what these are, and like spoiler alert, they're the black arts, and then they're doing evil things in a zebra room, and then there's also a hilarious drone shots of the actual island, which was very, very funny.
And which probably to rate it, Little St. James looks beautiful.
Like, it might be the most beautiful island in the world.
I want to go to there.
Me too. They got popcorn on the plane. I want to go to there.
Popcorn.
That was what led to the I want to go to
I want
there.
to go there. Yeah.
But like, it might be the most beautiful island in the world.
I'd like a meatball sub, extra bread. Sorry. No, I got you.
I'm done. I'm done. This podcast is over.
Please continue extolling the virtues of Little St. James Island. The jewel of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
But like, the water looks perfect.
Ugh.
The beaches look perfect.
Yeah.
The layout of the island looks incredible.
The temple.
I mean, the temple alone. I mean, it's got beds in there.
The pièce de résistance. It's got beds. It's got the scary owl statue.
Yeah.
It's got the works.
It's got everything. But yeah, man, it does look like a beautiful fucking island.
Yeah.
It
deserves so much better than its 1.3 star Google rating.
I hope they turn it into a Holocaust museum-esque, like, they're like, this is where all these children were murdered and killed. Everybody come see it. I'd go.
Look at all those shoes.
I'd go.
I would absolutely
I would
go.
absolutely go.
No question.
Yep. I wonder if it's for sale.
Yeah. I mean,
Also, do you get put on a list if you Google Maps search Little St. James?
ooh, sure hope not. How do you think I knew what the rating was?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Oh, there it is. Aw, look at it. It's so cute.
It's so cute.
Great St. James is right next door.
You don't let the size fool you. Little's the nicer one.
I think it's technically part of... Oh, yeah, no, there's the line. I was going to say, is it part of the British Virgin Islands?
No, I think it's
No,
on like
the line dividing them is...
the U.S. British line. Yeah.
You know what? It's not that far from Colombia, and I'm going to Colombia, so...
Hey. Take a trip.
Maybe I'll take a trip. Oh, I was in the Dominican, too. I could have gone there.
You've had so many fucking chances to go to Little St. James Island,
Damn
and you
it.
keep blowing it.
Damn it. Anyways, so... the rest of the movie is, yeah, so the hot one then starts to act like very weird, and then she has sex with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And
Her boyfriend... Her boyfriend...
That's after.
Okay.
Yeah, that's after. So they're doing it...
but one thing, just in terms of the way the boyfriend talks, and more generally, Dasha writes men the way the dumbest men write women, and also she writes women that way.
Yeah. She starts... Oh, so they have sex, and they are doing it like she's face down, he's on top of her from behind.
Paws down, tail up, that's the way you like to fuck?
Presumably in her vagina, but it could be in her butt.
Yeah.
I'm not here...
Butt was on the table.
I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life.
Yeah. You better fucking sell this coming up, by the way.
So they're like kind of they're really getting into it, and she starts telling him to like, kind of like get more like, a little bit more thrusty. Mm-hmm. And then she very slowly sticks her thumb in her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
and then asks him, "How old am I?"
And
he says her
20
actual age.
26.
26. And then she goes, "No." And he goes, "Oh, 25." And she goes, "No.
Younger.
I want to be younger." So
I'm
then he
like,
says, "Oh, you're 18. Like,
18.
18. You're
18
so
and
tight.
legal.
You're so tight for 18. Like, And then she goes, "No, I want to be 13." And he goes, "What the fuck?"
I believe the line was, "Fuck me like I'm 13."
Fuck me like I'm 13.
And the guy's like, I'm not having fun
He's like, "No,
anymore."
I'm done." He gets off her, and then she goes,
Yeah.
and then she like snaps out of it. She's like, "No,
like,
what?
"What?
You don't want to finish?" And he's like, "No,
I will finish myself.
I'm
thank
not
you.
fucking down with this. Get the fuck out. I have to
Yeah.
go to work in the morning. I am not okay with this.
I will make my own comes." And by the way, that's one. That's my new YouTube clickbait video. One cool trick that women don't want you to know. You can just finish yourself off.
You can come whenever you want.
Yeah, you can make your own comes.
Cummies.
And I would prefer them not to be cummies.
Well, cummies on my tummies. Gross. And yeah, so then she like has no memory of it, and then she gets. First of all, where did she get them from? She gets all of these vintage collectibles of Prince Andrew's wedding
memorabilia,
and then just all of these newspaper clippings and photographs.
Yeah.
But like, where is a store in New York that you can just go to and get things?
I don't know, because
from
the
his...
little spoon was sent in a package. So eBay.
I guess, yeah, maybe that does make sense. I guess. I didn't really think about that.
Yeah.
And she starts like licking and spitting on.
I loved when she kissed the like magazine picture of
Yeah.
Prince Andrew. I'm like, I'm into this.
Yeah.
Like every time I wanted to turn the movie off, a little something would win me
It would
back
kick
a bit
you back
of goodwill.
in?
Like Fuck Me Like I'm 13 got it like 15 minutes of goodwill.
Yeah.
Maybe 13 minutes of goodwill. Maybe 1 minute per year old. And then the Prince Andrew fucking, I'm like, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah. She did this. She starts like rubbing the pictures on her crotch. She's wearing like little girl panties.
Yep.
Then she's like, so she like comes and then rubs it all over his picture on the wall.
Yep.
But then she goes
Like you've never done a cum tribute, Drew. Grow up.
not to Prince Andrew.
Drew.
Not to Prince Andrew.
Prince Charles?
Yes.
Prince
I
William?
like big ears. I like big ears and bad teeth.
Queen Anne.
Queen Anne. But then she decides to go full blown autistic and start hitting and punching pictures of Sarah Ferguson of
Poor Fergie.
of York, whatever the fuck her official title is. So like Prince Andrew's wife, and she starts like yelling and like making like whiny, fussy little kid noises, and hitting them.
Yeah. Also, I think Dasha might have forgotten what 13-year-olds act like if she is in fact portraying a 13-year-old.
Well, if she watched Cuties, she would know what an 11-year-old acts like.
Young girls are very grown up these days.
Very, very grown up, very complicated, very complex.
It feels like 100 years since we talked about Cuties.
Well,
oh my god,
it has been 5 hours.
We did it.
So and then I don't know that there's even really that much more to talk about. Like she uses a commemorative bell, like a porcelain bell, as a dildo.
Betcha.
That then makes her bleed.
Yeah.
She then smears the blood all over pictures of Fergie.
Pre-Black Eyed Peas.
Pre-Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
And then also not post-Black Eyed Peas, because they kicked her out because she's a bitch.
Correct.
But then, like, she starts acting like a complete child.
Yeah.
Like, not like a 13-year-old.
A baby.
Like a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
She really does not. And, like, then at that point I turned to Scott and I was just like, how fucking embarrassing.
Yeah,
like,
it was...
Why would you... How do you live with yourself acting like
what she
that?
had to do was humiliating. Like, I hope she, like, just completely disassociated.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like all three... Like, the other two are just Dasha's friends.
Gotta be.
Like, she just, like, hired her friends.
Maybe it's... I don't know. I don't know who the other bitch is from the Red Scare podcast. Maybe it's her. I don't know.
So, yeah. Then she... what even fucking happens? Oh, so like they're concerned. They see her like on the street.
Yeah, and
like,
she's dressed exactly like the girl in the famous picture with Prince Andrew that he said he never ever met in an interview for the BBC. You fucking idiot, Prince Andrew. You're so stupid.
You idiot. You stupid bitch.
Why would you ever do that interview? You could have said no. It was the most damning interview anyone has ever given in the history of media.
Ever. Yeah.
R.
Kelly looked less guilty than you.
Yeah, it's crazy, guys. If you haven't seen the Prince Andrew interview, do yourselves a favor.
Yeah,
do Prince Andrew. Okay, Prince Andrew, Frank Dukes. These are the interviews to look up. This is your homework.
That's your homework.
Yeah.
So yeah, they see her on the street, and then they're like, "Oh, like I'm really concerned. Like, well, should we talk to her mom?" They're like, "No, our mom would never. Like, she's not really supportive of her."
And her dad?
And then they're like, "Oh, how about her dad?" Like, "Oh, well, her dad's a pedophile." Like, wait, what?
Oh, that was
that
news.
just came out of nowhere. And then they're like, "Well, how about her boyfriend? Or how about
Greg? Who's that?
Who's Greg? Oh, that's her boyfriend. Oh, the faggot."
Their words, not ours.
Like they say the F word 4 times in this movie,
and they dropped a couple of retards too.
And a couple of retards, yeah. 2 hard R's and 4 hard F's. So then, so. And it's like,
then for the rest of the movie, they keep calling the boyfriend gay.
Yeah. Even though he's like very clearly not.
He fucked the girl,
and he also tried to fuck the other girl at his work. If anything, he's a poon hound.
Yeah.
Unless he's so gay, he's covering it up by being a poon hound.
I mean, it's happened before.
It's very possible.
Dad on the Brady Bunch.
Yes. And then what happened to him?
The 1980s.
He should have used more green condoms.
He got young Tanaka.
Young Tanaka. I don't know. Like then
spin-off from Young Sheldon.
Your favorite show. So yeah, she then goes into the basement, which is like some weird zebra room. And she's like having a freak out about, I don't know, Prince Andrew.
She's having a day.
And then Dasha comes.
There's also a scene earlier when she went to like Epstein's mansion in, I don't know if it's Midtown or whatever, and has a full jerk off on the front steps.
Yes.
That was fun.
And then Dasha and the ugly one go through sneak his mail, even though why would he still be getting mail?
Why is there still mail in the slot that you can get with your hand?
Yeah, I don't know. And then they both are drinking their woke juice,
which is literally just like Adderall taken out of the capsule and shaken into water.
Yeah, but that's the woke juice. Got to keep yourself alert.
Mm-hmm. Stay woke.
Then, so Dasha comes and finds her in the basement, and then she's like gets into a kerfuffle with her.
Yep.
And she gets slapped.
Thank you for saying kerfuffle and not kerfluffle, Brian Alvarez, if you're listening.
Listen, bloke.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I can't think of how to say words correctly. Kerfuffle.
I'm a 54-year-old man with 2 children under age 5.
Yeah. She gives her a nice delicate slap, which then immediately and then shakes her a little bit, like a baby.
Yeah,
and
we're
then,
like, is that supposed to? I hope that's not supposed to kill her.
And then she's out cold.
Yeah, but she is unconscious. But then the ugly one shows up,
fucking stabs her.
And stabs the ever-loving shit.
And we were yelling. We're like, that's your fucking friend. Even if she's possessed.
Yeah, shouldn't you try to get her unpossessed before we resort to murder?
Yeah, it turns out it wasn't her friend. It turns out she's part of the pedophilic elite.
Who isn't?
Maybe she was a recruiter. Maybe she was the girl from Smallville. Maybe...
Oh, I love an Allison Mack.
Allison Mack.
Love her.
I used to be really into her.
And now you're more into her?
No, I'm more into her. Now that she's in prison.
Now that you know she made other women brand her initials onto their vaginas.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Pretty sick. Tight move.
Tight move.
And then, then Dasha wakes up and murders the ugly girl.
Yep.
Then runs away and runs to Greg's work and then says, "Hey, faggot, your girlfriend's dead. You need to come with me right now. And he goes, what are you talking about?
Hey,
She's
gay
dead.
man, I got news about your girlfriend.
I said, faggot, that your girlfriend's dead. You have to come with me right now. And then he's like, kind of like looking at her, and then she just sort of does like,
oh yeah, she had like a big like unintelligible cry talk.
yeah, like, but like, not even acting, just like making mouth noises.
Yeah.
And then they run back to the apartment.
Yeah.
She's not not only is the dead girlfriend not there anymore, and there's no blood, and the zebra room's gone, but
Yeah.
the ugly girl's gone, and there's no blood. And so then he just says, "Listen, you fucking dumb retarded bitch. Maybe you should get some fucking
Again,
help."
these are all their words.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
ours.
like, this-
I mean,
we're not-
we agree with their words,
but we're not
these are
putting
their
words in their mouth.
Yeah, we're not saying.
These are their exact words.
We're quoting.
Like
when I say shame on, I'm quoting the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it myself.
didn't Serge Tankian say in a song? Didn't they do a cover of that? And
He's
then he said it?
Armenian, and that's close
That's
enough.
the blacks of Eastern
The blacks of Turkey.
Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then then the house is clean, and then we also missed that there was a fake.
There was because Dasha thought they were being watched.
Yeah.
And a couple times they showed like clearly a fake Ghislaine Maxwell just lurking in the shadows.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very angular woman.
Yeah.
Sharp features.
Very sharp.
Yeah.
Very, very sharp. Also helped a pedophile.
Yeah. And that was it, right?
That was it.
And then there was a dedication at the end that said for Stain, and we're like, if that said for Jeff, all is forgiven.
I would have been so happy
5 out
if
of
that
5
said for Jeff.
Yeah.
Because clearly it's like it's anti he killed himself.
Yep.
So like that's pretty sick.
I agree.
I mean, I've been saying he didn't kill himself since day one.
I think anyone who knows how killing yourself works has been saying it.
Oh, sorry. The security camera did it went into auto maintenance mode.
And like the fucking balls. I don't know if you remember. They tried it once.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
Didn't work.
And then they did it again. The fucking brazenness of it.
The balls.
The balls, and nobody cared.
No.
That's amazing. But then people started caring a little bit, so then we had to do COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta focus off this. What do? I don't know. Make up a global pandemic that isn't real. Make everybody wear some masks.
And we're demonetized.
Are you fucking joking me?
Did you find some news?
Well, it's wrestling.
Drew, do you have breaking the news?
It's breaking wrestling news. It's not going to matter to the podcast.
Well, let's break it. We have breaking news from 3 days ago.
Sami Zayn is no longer the Intercontinental Champion.
Oh, sad.
He lost the IC title
to
Ricochet.
Weird. I mean, Sami Zayn Ricochet is a good match.
Yeah.
I bet they go 6 minutes and don't do much. Ooh, the big 8. Well, cool. I guess Ricochet is the next guy who they're trying to get not to quit.
How long do you think the other matches on the show went?
Yeah, I'd love to know.
2. Main event went 3.
Oh.
And the tag team title match went 8.
Oh, big night.
Yeah.
And there's your WWE SmackDown live on Fox report.
23 minutes of wrestling.
Oh no, 2-hour show by my count?
2-hour show.
Pretty good.
Pretty fucking good.
I'm excited. Well,
Also,
guys, check out SmackDown 3 days ago.
Also, it might be Pat McAfee versus Corey Graves.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true, but that's what they're talking about.
Well, look, you got it. Look.
No, okay. Well, we got too much to do. We're worried about we're talking about fucking wrestling. That brings us to the main event for this second part of the episode. Less pedophile talk, except for a little bit of pedophile talk.
A little bit.
1998's
2001.
Rat Race.
Is that the movie about Jewish people?
There are at least 2, if not 3, in this movie.
Yep. Also, shout out to Dylan and Derek who picked this and did a good job.
Yeah, thank you. I was saying to Scott off air that like I saw this in 2003 probably, And I'm glad that I rewatched it
Yeah.
because I would have just gone like, oh, I've seen it.
Because you're
Here are
going to
the
do like
things I
a breeze through refresh.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
I actually sat down and watched the whole thing, and there were so many jokes that I don't think I got when I was 17.
27.
Yeah, when I was 17, but also like didn't remember like any of them happening. So yeah, I really enjoyed rewatching this.
Yeah. Quite a cast.
If anyone is familiar with this movie, we then turn off the podcast. You're done. If you're not familiar with this podcast,
The bargain is completed.
so it is, it's like a huge ensemble of like B-level stars and a couple of minor
Yeah.
I don't know, not even minor A's.
But like it's
all B stars.
It's lots of people you know.
Tons of people you know.
Yeah.
So the story is kind of like, it's set in Vegas to start, and it's just sort of like you're meeting a bunch of people, a bunch of characters who are all at varying like low points in their life. You got my first note is Franklin and/or Bash appears, and Breckin Meyer.
Breckin Meyer is classic year 2000 handsome in this movie.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just wrote, how many times has the I didn't rent porn gag been done? 30? 40 times?
Yes, but this was the first.
I don't know if that's true. I think they did it in a vacation movie.
No, I think 2001 was the first time they did the I didn't rent porn at the hotel gag.
So then there's like
groundbreaking.
there's like a big long scene of like naming the title of the movie, giving details of the title,
which
of
was
the
actually
movie.
funny because it was like Afro Sluts 4.
Yeah.
And there was a black family behind him.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yes, and then also like he was saying, like he was arguing he didn't rent it, so then he was like, "Can you just wipe it from my record?" And she's like, "Well, it's not a record.
It's just a
And then
bill.
he's like, "Yeah, but can you wipe it?" And she goes, "Okay." Whoosh, it's white. Like that was pretty funny. And then he was like trying to get her to like take it off his bill, and she was like reading the description of the porno.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, I don't want to know what it's about. I don't want to pay for it." But I guess the idea is that he's going to eventually run for some kind of office position.
Yeah.
And he wants to have a clean slate.
To be clean.
Which is why he doesn't gamble.
Yeah.
So he's there for his friend's...
He's at a bachelor party.
Yeah, he's there for his friend's bachelor party.
But he's a pussy.
So, yeah, and he's hopeless. So he wants to leave because he wants to go back to Chicago because he's got lawyering to do because he's Franklin or Bash.
He is Franklin or Bash.
I couldn't... Which one he is, but is he also Rizzoli and Isles?
I think he's just Isles. Is he McMillan or wife?
He's wife.
Okay.
Then the next one I wrote is
he Scarecrow or Mrs. King? How more obscure
on.
can I go?
Cut deeper.
With these references.
Is he McCabe or Mrs. Miller?
There you go.
Gotta do something for the 70s.
No, the only other one I got is Cagney or Lacey, and that's too mainstream for this crowd.
The next one I wrote is, man, what happened to Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Don't know.
Like, he's got so much charisma and
really
energy, and he's handsome and funny, and he can break dance. And he's probably got good dick.
He can break dance like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
That was impressive. Because it was Cuba.
Yeah, absolutely Cuba.
Although I guess he's in the right time frame to have been good at breakdancing. Like growing up in the 80s.
In the 80s,
yeah.
And he's probably not that old in 2001.
No.
But yeah, like, man, what
happened? Let me answer your question
with another statement.
Let me answer your question with an answer. And that answer consists of 2 movies, each with 2 words with 4 letters each. Snow Dogs and Boat Trip. That's what happened to Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, but I feel like, yes, that's hard. People do bombs all the time, though. But, like...
I think people weren't ready for...
Something must have happened, right?
He diddle a kid? Or he didn't diddle a kid?
No, I don't think so.
And that's the problem.
Oh.
And the Hollywood elite said, well, enough of you, friend. Are you watching the news?
No. I'm reading, like...
What happened to
what
our beautiful boy Cuba?
Them. But, like...
Is it Cuba or Cuba?
I don't know, whatever. It's Cuba.
Okay.
But I like to say Cuba. Cuba's a fun word.
It is. Come to Cuba.
Come to Cuba. He made his directorial debut in 2018 with Bayou Caviar.
I mean, if someone wants to send us 50 or let's say $100 for that one, you go ahead.
Well, he had some legal issues, but not till 2019. So, oh boy.
Turns out he's black.
As of August 2020, 30 women have accused Cuba Gooding of unwanted sexual touching.
Oh, that's...
Cuba has been formally charged for 3 incidents, each resulting in misdemeanor charges of forcible touching and third-degree sexual assault. He has pled not guilty. His trial date was set for February 1st, 2022. So... On August 19th, 2020, a lawsuit was filed accusing Gooding of raping a woman twice in 2013 in a New York hotel room.
30 accusations is more than a few.
Yeah.
Now,
it's kind of.
Am I saying it's impossible that 30 women can lie? No. Obviously not impossible. But the numbers are mounting.
Yeah, it was like his trial date in theory happened, but
he was executed.
There's nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cuba Gooding Jr. has been compromised to a permanent end.
Yeah, I don't know. There's literally nothing about any kind of trial date, like nothing. But like, yeah, man, he genuinely was so charismatic. Like funny, like energy, like he's great. I just don't maybe
won an Oscar.
Maybe he just went from being like a charismatic good actor to a rapist, and he couldn't handle the pressure of being both.
Not a bad transition.
No,
worked for Spacey.
1000%.
So
yeah,
to each their own. I'm not gonna tell him how to live his life.
Here's another question I got for you.
Hit me.
Ted Danson. What was he thinking? It's not like she was attractive. It's not like she was ever attractive or skinny or funny.
And when you got Mary Steenburgen in the wings, why are you wasting your time?
Just everybody else in Hollywood. You're Ted Danson.
You're Sam fucking Malone.
Like, you're a handsome guy.
Are you kidding me? Tall,
chin,
handsome, fucking movie star chin.
And you're picking Whoopi fucking Goldberg?
Never get it.
I mean,
was the whole thing just an excuse to do blackface that one time?
Maybe.
If so, I don't fault him.
Maybe it was a gag, and they were like, "You wouldn't date Whoopi."
He's like, "I'll date Whoopi and do blackface at a roast." What do you think about that?
Done. But yeah, I just why? So yeah. Anyways, Whoopi Goldberg is in this movie.
Yes.
And then I also wrote. Noted gay family man Jon Lovitz.
Hold on. I'm sure I wrote something about that. I'm sure. I love it when Lovitz plays straight. It's always charming. And there's a little blackface dancer. He went hard on the lips. He really...
Oh, it's so good.
Like, the lips are most of his lower face.
So fucking good. How has nobody canceled him? I don't want him canceled.
Because it's Ted Danson, and he's like he's operating on a Scott type operating system. It's like, look, yeah, sure, there's some shit if you dig for it, but come on, I'm pretty cute.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Come on.
I just want to look up other celebrities who have done blackface. Anyways, you were gonna look up Jon Lovitz, or you said
no,
I love it when he
plays straight. It's adorable. And like wife, like straight down the middle, like wife and kids straight.
Yeah,
but he's still Jon Lovitz.
He's still Jon Lovitz,
a gay man.
He's still a
flamboyant gay man. This is honestly maybe my favorite Jon Lovitz, because like he's going for it and he's just doing Lovitz, like wild, like gesticulating.
Yeah,
and it's perfect.
This is like peak Jon Lovitz.
Yeah.
He's not quite fat yet.
No,
and he's not quite old yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then my next note is just those chompers on John Cleese.
John
Those
Cleese
like veneer
nonsense fake teeth.
nonsense fake teeth. But he's used to that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's used to doing silly ass things. So anyway,
Yeah.
okay, so you got
It's from the Big Book of British Smiles, of course.
you got Franklin Andor Bash.
Yep.
You got noted rapist Cuba Gooding Jr. You've got noted unattractive woman Whoopi Goldberg.
Yep. You got her daughter, not Deborah Wilson.
Yep. You got noted gay man John Lovitz.
Yep.
You've got Seth Green and late 90s, early 2000 actor guy.
Yep.
Who you've seen in 9 movies in that time frame and
You've
then nothing
seen him.
else.
Yeah.
You
Just absolutely crushed it 98-202.
yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yeah. Then you got yourself Rowan Atkinson playing Signore Bean.
Yeah.
Like straight up, he's playing speaking and Italian Mr. Bean.
Yes.
Like he's capable of other things, but I bet you that's what they told him to do.
They're like, we want this pretty beanie.
Yeah, they're like be a weird Italian guy.
Be mentally challenged.
Don't tell me twice. So they all end up are at the casino.
So Seth Green's brother is Vince Vieluf.
Yeah.
Vieluf. And
Yeah.
what do I know him
Stuff.
from? I know him from
Things.
Yeah, he's got a real 98 to 03 was his
Told you.
window.
Told you.
So I know American Werewolf in Paris.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Is he in Varsity Blues? Maybe.
I will tell you, he is not in Varsity Blues. So it's the only other thing I know him from. Epic Movie. He's Wolverine in Epic Movie.
Sick. That is
not what I
get.
That is not what I know.
That is
him
an
from.
awesome get.
It can't be. But yeah, there's nothing else I really recognize him from, so I guess it's that. I guess it's American Werewolf in Paris, an Epic Movie. Monobrow.
Monobrow. Daddy wants a monobrow. Big flappy bingo arms. Yeah.
One of the worst movies ever made.
So yeah, you got all of them. They all are at the casino in Las Vegas. They all end up receiving like this weird
magic
token chip thing that leads them to like the penthouse to have a meeting with noted crazy rich man John Cleese.
With John Cleese and his man Friday, Dave Thomas.
Dave Thomas. Not the Wendy's Dave Thomas, the
SCTV.
Canadian SCTV. Dave
Bob or Doug McKenzie, Dave Thomas.
Bob.
Sure.
And Rick Moranis was Doug.
Yeah. Why don't you leave Hollywood, you bitch?
Fuck him. So John Cleese kind of gives him this thing and says that there's a place called Silver Mine, Nevada. No, New Mexico. Silver Mine, New Mexico, right?
Silver something.
Silver something.
Maybe Silver City.
Silver City. Culver City.
Culver City, California.
Silver City, New Mexico.
Yeah.
And in the old train station, there are lockers. And in the locker marked 001, there's $2 million in a bag. Here's a key for each of you. It's a race to get there.
Go get it.
And they're all kind of like, huh?
This shit's gay.
They're like, what? No, stupid. I'm not doing it. I'm going home. But then they all like swerve each other and decide to go.
Maybe I will do it. Maybe it's not gay.
Maybe a little bit. So yeah, the entire plot of the movie is just them in hilariously comedic and slapsticky ways, racing across the deserts and stuff, like racing to New Mexico to get the $2 million. So my notes are just things that happened in the movie, not necessarily like plot points.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of plot points. Just early on stuff I have is okay. Yeah, so this came out in 01. I think I rented it on VHS in 02.
Gotcha.
And that's the last time I saw it. You saw it in 03
on DVD, not VHS. Like
I bet it wasn't DVD.
No, it probably wasn't. It was probably VHS.
Let's sit there and
it was probably VHS.
Yeah. And the only thing I remembered is Rowan Atkinson running around like a goon saying, "It's a race, it's a race." And I'm like, why is that the only thing I remember? And then upon rewatching, I'm like, oh, it's because he says it 1,000 times.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to write that I hopefully will remember is just remind me about the narcolepsy.
Okay.
So Senor Rabin
Yeah.
has narcolepsy. So he's the first one to, like, you know, make the rush for the gold, but then just falls asleep
In the lobby.
in the lobby while running.
Yeah.
So then what turns out is that there's a group of eccentric rich men
Yeah.
who are all betting on which one of them will get to the money first.
Which sounds a lot like recent Netflix hit Squid Game.
Kinda.
It's a Squid Game.
Yeah, kinda.
It's a less murdery Squid Game. Although there could have been some murders.
Maybe. Pretty close. All right, I'm just going to go through the notes I wrote. During that meeting, he says, he says, like, Whoopi Goldberg's, and your daughter, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, wait, how do you know I'm her daughter? And then he goes, well, there truly are no secrets. Well, there is still one. And I expected, like, a hard pan to Lovitz, but, like, it didn't happen. Like, our friend John over here likes to push poo.
Well, there's one secret left. Oh, that's great.
Then as they sort of, like, start to disband and start to start the race, of course, Who Let the Dogs Out plays, and
Obviously,
obviously,
it's 2001.
Yeah. Then when Lovitz sort of convinces his family that I have to go on this business trip to New Mexico, and so I'm going to leave you here. And then his wife and kids are like, "Oh, we want to go to New Mexico. We don't even like Las Vegas." And he's like, "Fuck. All right, fine. Let's go to the airport." And then there's like a scene where they're buying tickets, and he can't buy tickets, so he's going to like rent a car, and so, like, they're in the airport, and he's like, well, we have to go right now, because a bunch of other people are, like, rushing towards ticket cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And then his wife is like, oh, what about our bags? He's like, just leave them. And I was like, pre 9/11, where you can just leave your fucking bags anywhere.
Leave your bags unattended, run onto the plane from the tarmac.
Yeah, get on the plane 5 minutes before it takes off. I miss those days.
What a beautiful dream.
Thanks a lot, Al-Qaeda. Or, yeah.
Thanks a lot, Bush administration.
Oh, come on. He didn't do it. Maybe Dick Cheney did it. Dick Cheney knew about it, for sure. Seth and an early 2000s guy they end up knocking out the flight control, the radar.
It was funny when they were buying a ticket and there was like a man in front of them, and the counter lady was like, "Who's next?" And they're like, "We're next." And the man's like, "Excuse me, I'm in front of you." And then they just distract the counter lady and punch the man in the face, knocking him out.
And like, okay, who's next? And then everybody goes like, "Oh, these guys,
them,
the violent guys." They take out the radio tower so that that nobody can fly out.
Yeah.
And so the whole time, Franklin Urbash has been trying to hit on Amy Smart, also a early 2000s attractive girl who went nowhere.
Oh yeah, Amy Smart used to be in things.
Yeah, and she was like kind of cute.
She was cute.
Yeah. So he's been hitting on her.
I think she was on a bit of Scrubs for a minute.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, why don't you have a drink with me? And she's like, oh, I can't. I'm flying out in a few minutes. He's like, oh, but you can just have one. She's like, no, I'm like actually flying. Like I'm a pilot. And he's like,
how
women pilots?
How can a woman be a pilot?
Oh my god, the pilot's a woman. But he's like, he doesn't want, he's not participating. He threw the key in the garbage. He's like, no, I'm going back to Chicago
to have a female pilot.
Like, fuck it, I'm not doing this. And then when he can't leave because he can't get a flight out because the tower's out, so he goes back to hit on Amy Smart, and then she's like, he's like, oh, do you want to have a drink still? And she's like, well, no, I'm flying out. And he goes, yeah, but the tower's out. You can't fly. And she's like, oh, I fly a helicopter.
I don't
We
need
fly
no
on a
damn
different
tower."
system.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh shit, she can fly. Nobody else can fly.
I gotta fuck my
can
way onto
fly.
this helicopter.
I gotta fucking. So he goes and gets the key back from the garbage, and then tells her like some lie about his sister being sick or whatever.
Yeah.
To fly with her. And I don't know, like none of these plot points are important.
really.
Then Whoopi and her daughter get a car, and they're driving down like some backcountry road, and they get lost, where they find Oscar award winner Kathy Bates.
How many Oscar winners are in this? Kathy Bates, Whoopi Goldberg, Cuba Gooding Jr. Any more? Dave Thomas?
No, I don't think so.
John Lovitz?
Nope.
That's probably it.
Breckenmeyer.
Probably it. Still three,
Seth
though.
Green. That's still a lot.
Yeah.
Still a lot.
That's more than most movies.
That is true. Actually, Kathy Bates would have been like not. I guess both her and Whoopi would have been like relatively close to this, because Kathy Bates was 92,
90, 91?
1991. Whoopi was 89, 88.
Ghosts.
Ghost or Color Purple? Which one did she win for?
Ghost.
Eh.
Yeah, Color Purple was earlier.
Yeah.
Ghost is around this 90-ish.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm losing steam here. We should probably keep going instead of getting
that's
off
fine.
on
We're
second.
We're doing good.
We're almost at 3 hours. Well, we're going to be close to 3 hours.
Yay.
So Kathy Bates.
As promised, this episode.
Yeah.
this episode.
Kathy Bates has a roadside, she's selling squirrels.
Yeah.
And she has very adorable signs for squirrels.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you like to say?
She's really pushing the squirrels.
She's really pushing the squirrels. Like, she keeps trying to sell squirrels. She's like, oh, I taught this one to shake, but like he's not going to do it while you're here. And then, because you're black. And then she says like, oh, well, we're trying to get to Silver City. Do you know how to get back to like, is there like a cutoff? He goes, yeah. So you go
There's like, yeah,
1.8 miles here.
Yeah,
Then
very
you'll
specific
You'll see
direction.
this sign, you turn left. Then you go 4.5 miles, and then you're going to see this, and you go right. And then when you go whatever, you do this. And they're like, oh, okay.
Like,
They're
oh, thank you so much.
they're like, like, are you sure those are the directions? Like, she's like, yeah, I'm not retarded. Like,
so many casual R words in this. Almost as many as 2021's The Scary of 61st.
yeah. But like, I bet you, because Kathy Bates is like hella liberal.
Yeah.
I bet you she regrets that.
Probably.
I bet you she sits awake at night thinking,
wish.
fuck, I really shouldn't have said retard and
Should
rat
have said
race.
no. Yeah.
Fuck. So then after that, now Lovitz and his family are like in a station wagon, and they're driving, and they're driving, and the daughter's talking about how she's prairie dogging, and then they explain what prairie dogging is.
Yep.
Uh,
I don't know if it was her, but I have a note from earlier saying, did they just show a little girl's bare ass? I can't remember if that was in relation to her or something else, but I'm pretty sure I saw a child ass at some point. I was like, pretty cool movie.
not that I remember. Are you sure you watched the same movie?
I don't know.
You sure you didn't watch Ass Race
You sure you didn't watch Cuties again?
again before? So they're driving, and the daughter sees a sign for like, next exit, Barbie Museum, and she was like,
"Go to Barbie Museum.
I would love to go." And then he's like, "No, we don't have time. We're like on schedule for this." And they're like, "Oh, come on, like we should just go to like it's one stop, whatever." And he goes, "Yeah, but I'm sure that like whatever the son's name is, like I'm sure he doesn't want to go." He's like, "Listen, anything is. I'm cramping up back here. I gotta get out of this car." And they go, "Fine, we'll go to the Barbie Museum, but we're in and out." So they pull over, and then it cuts to them in the Barbie Museum, and it is the Klaus Barbie Nazi Museum.
Yeah, Klaus Barbie, the butcher of
Lyon.
Yeah,
And then they're like, this, but this museum is dedicated to his like he's a champion ballroom dancer and
all the cool stuff
and
about
and
Klaus
a
Barbie.
baker and so it's like all these skinheads talking about Klaus Barbie.
How chilly is.
How chilly is, and then they're like, "Oh, we sorry," like they say like, "We need to get out of here." So they try to leave. They're like, "Are you leaving?" They're like, "Oh, yeah, we got to go to a book burning and then a christening, a Christian christening for white people."
Yeah, I'm not a gay Jew.
Not a Jew.
The last secret.
The last secret. So then they go to leave and their car's been stolen.
Yep.
So the only car that's available to them is Adolf Hitler's Mercedes-Benz. So they steal the Mercedes-Benz. All the skinheads see that and freak out and come out to chase after them.
This has, I think, my favorite line in the movie, where they're going through like the glove compartments and stuff, and they find Ava Braun's hat.
I think there's hat, lipstick, and something else.
Yeah. So the daughter takes the hat and puts it on and says, "Look at me, I'm Mrs. Hitler," which I adored. Absolutely adored.
Very funny. Very funny. Okay, so at this point, I was very much over the Pierce tongue gag.
Oh, I can't believe it was the whole movie.
So Seth Green's brother character guy,
Seth Green's late 90s, early 2000s brother,
had pierced his own tongue.
It was infected.
And it was infected. So
he had to do that in every scene.
Because when your tongue is swollen, you can't talk like normal out of your throat.
Oh, I thought you were doing Down syndrome.
You can only talk... Well, my tongue is too big for my mouth. So... it means that your tongue is blocking your vocal cords.
Yeah.
So he could only go, and then the gag of just like Seth Green can't understand him properly.
Annoying.
And then he gets mad at him for not understanding, and like, it's so fucking dumb. I was really over it at this point. So then Amy Smart and Franklin Urbash are flying in the helicopter, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna take a quick pit stop. I just want to like surprise my boyfriend because like it's on the way."
Yeah.
So they like pull up to like they're flying over the house, and then she like starts getting all like like a stupid bitchy woman, and she's like, "That's the car of his ex-girlfriend and parked in the front." So she circles over, and they're in the pool fucking, and I was like, is that Dean Cain?
Answer.
That's fucking Dean
Yes,
Cain.
it's Dean Cain.
So Dean Cain in the hot tub fucking his ex-girlfriend.
Yep. So she like buzzes him with the helicopter, loses her pilot's license because you're not supposed to do that.
Supposed to do that because it's a military helicopter or something.
Yeah, and then
crashes.
Crashes, and then Breck and her are off somewhere like a roadside
pussy
diner or whatever, and he like comes clean to her with like why he wanted to go, and like to prove his honesty, he's like, "Here, you take the key." I'm like, "Yeah, give the key to the crazy bitch who just lost her pilot's license."
Yep. Just to make it clear, number one, I think Breckenmeyer is still kind of ruggedly handsome.
He is,
judging by a picture of right here. Big picture. There you go. He's ruggedly handsome.
Absolutely.
Also, for note, he is Franklin.
He's Franklin.
And Paul Mark Gosselaar is Bash.
And John Paul Mitchell is Bash.
Yes. The next note. So it's just like a series of like everybody's mode of transportation is collapsing on them.
Yeah.
Then we get Cuba Gooding, who he's a disgraced NFL referee who accidentally blew a coin toss and cost Dallas the game, which a bunch of people had bet on Dallas to win. So then when he takes a taxi to the casino originally, there's a guy in the taxi driver is like venting about the football game, but he doesn't recognize him. And then when he gets out of the vehicle, another taxi driver goes like, "Hey, don't you know who that was? Right? That was the referee." And he goes, "Motherfucker, I had him." So then when he comes out and he like, "Oh, can you drive me to I have to get to this place?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'll drive you." So he same taxi driver like picks him up, and he kind of like gritting his teeth, telling him about how pretending to be nice. Drives him out to the middle of the desert, strips him down to his undies, and just leaves him in the desert.
To die.
Yeah. There's a lot of very good comedic Cuba acting in this. He the walking on the hot sand, having temper tantrum. Very, very funny. So then he eventually crosses the desert, and he he runs into like a tour bus that's stopped at a a gas station, or no,
rest stop.
Rest stop.
Yeah.
That is full of Lucille Ball impersonators.
Yeah, they're going to LucyCon.
They're going to LucyCon. So he decides, and they're like waiting for the bus driver because he's like shitting or something.
Yeah.
So he goes in and he needs to, he wants to try and get the costume or the outfit from the bus driver to take the bus.
Yeah.
And the way he does that is by telling the bus driver that his wife is having a baby right now and he needs his stuff.
Yeah.
So Cuba then explains childbirth the way Republicans understand women's rights, birth control, and abortions. They're like, oh, her uvula is fully dilated, and the baby's coming out of the cervix.
Well, you can have my jacket, but what do you need the pants for? The placenta. Hello.
I gotta catch her placenta.
And then what do you need my hat for? You've got the rest. Her vagina.
Yeah, like a very comedic way of explaining childbirth, as if like he's so retarded. I guess maybe he's fried from being in the desert.
True,
but like he doesn't even understand how babies are made. I mean, he was radio.
He was radio.
You never go full retard.
Yeah.
I mean, like some stuff happens after that, but it's like nothing of importance. Like it's Franklin and Amy Smart like they stole Dean Cain's truck.
Yeah.
And then they're driving the truck and then whatever. But the next one I wrote, so then when Cuba is driving the bus and all the Lucille's are like doing bits and stuff and whatever. And then Lucille like comes up to the front.
Who's your favorite Lucy?
Who's my favorite Lucy? Well, we're going to get to that.
Okay.
So one of the Lucys comes up to the front and starts talking to Cuba about like, oh, can we pull over at a rest stop? Like I really got to the bathroom. And he's like, no, seriously, we're on a tight schedule already. Like, why don't you just use the one in the back? Like, well, I mean, there's the lock's broken, so like anybody could walk in at any point. And he's like, well, I don't think that don't have anything that all the other Lucys have. And then the voice goes to like very manly and goes like, well, I don't know about that.
Guess what, Daddy?
Of course, because it's 2001. Cuba has to reply with screams of terror,
revulsion,
staring at her like she's a disgusting monster, and then
a real they them Aubrey too. Audrey too. Aubrey Edwards.
So
Audrey too.
Nothing like some lovely transphobia bathroom
some
humor.
Classic early century transphobia.
Yeah. So then the next thing we get is Lovitz and his family in the Hitlermobile being chased by the neo-Nazis. Getting chased by the Nazis. And then he like jams his finger and flips off a biker.
He burns his finger on the cigarette lighter.
Because he doesn't think it works.
Yes.
He's like, what is this? They're like, they didn't have that back then.
Yeah.
Burns his middle finger, which he then accidentally holds up to a biker.
Yeah.
And then she like gets all of her biker friends to chase them.
And he at one point he accidentally says dyke instead of bike, and it's very funny.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah. So then they're like racing away. He loses control. He bites his tongue.
Yeah.
He gets like a smudge on his face from.
Yeah. There's some shit on the steering wheel, and he.
Oh yeah, his face hits the steering wheel.
Bops his face on the steering wheel.
And he gets like a mustachy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they end up crashing the Hitlermobile into a World War II veterans memorial. So he gets out of the car with a bit tongue, a Hitler mustache, and his hair greased over in the Hitlermobile, and he starts trying to yell at them about what's happening with the bikers.
Yeah.
But he's doing very Hitler mannerisms.
And it just sounds like German.
And it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
It's awesome.
It's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
John Lovitz as Hitler. It's what I want.
It's really, really good.
Then I just said like old rich men betting is incredible.
Yeah.
And, like so all the old men are having like side bets the whole time while they're waiting for the race to end. So like they order a hooker and they all hide and they get Dave Thomas to ask her to do something very specific to see like how much she'd charge, and then it's like, closest without going over wins.
Yeah.
So he wants her to I don't even remember. There was like some
There was a hot tub.
There was some hot tub full of Pepto-Bismol.
Hot tub full of Pepto-Bismol. There was the shaving of
his
buttocks.
butt. Something to do with her feet.
Yeah.
and a baby related thing.
Yeah.
And then she says the total, and they like all pop out, and they're like, so and so got
Like
it.
3,000. Like, I had 2,800.
Yeah. Then like a later cut scene, they cut back, and they've got a bunch of Asian maids all trying to like do pull-ups on the curtains, the curtain rods,
Yeah.
and then when they're getting closer to the end of the race, they all get in the private jet. And then when they're in the private jet, it's sort of like tipping back and forth.
Yeah, the first shot of the jet, it's like all over. I'm like, why is this happening?
like, oh,
But
is
there was a
Amy
reason.
Smart flying the plane now?
Yeah, or any other woman.
Or Mohammed
Ada?
Atta?
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I got you. Don't worry. I got your back on 9/11 stuff.
Yeah. And then it turns out that like they're doing it to see which one of them throws up first.
Yeah.
Which is very, very funny. I like that one a lot. The next note I wrote is just like it just doesn't stop. It's all action all the time.
Yeah, because you got so many characters and storylines going, you can just keep bopping between them. Do you need me to remind you about
No, it's
narcolepsy yet?
literally the next note.
Excellent.
So then the bus gets it overheats.
Yeah.
And then gets a flat tire. And then
And then the soap falls in the toilet and it fills with suds.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So the Lucy's are trying. I kind of maybe like zoned out for a second. They were trying to fix the tire, but then they just ended up like rolling it down the hill.
They just lost the tire.
Yeah. And so then he's like starts having a temper tantrum about how like
I'm not a bus
he's not
driver.
even
They're
the-
like, no, don't say
You're
that.
the best
He's like,
bus driver.
He's like, no, I'm not a bus driver.
I
I
stole
this.
this and I took the bus. So they all start getting mad at him. So it's like one Lucy yells at him, two Lucys yell at him, a third Lucy yells at him, then an Asian Lucy
yells at him.
in an Asian accent. And I just wrote Asian Lucille Ball.
I definitely have two notes, one reading Trans Lucy and one reading Asian Lucy.
Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah.
So then Seth and his brother, they're like racing in their car. They think they're going to get pulled over by the cops. Franklin and Amy Smart like siphon gas from the cops or whatever. Anyways, they end up like pulling like to get away. They pull into some area where they like park, and then it turns out that they've parked in the lineup for
Monster
cars
truck.
for a monster truck
Yeah.
to like crush. And then I just wrote monster trucks. Seriously, what's the budget on this?
Yeah.
And I looked, it's $48 million.
That's
so I
money.
just wrote 48 milli gets you a lot in 2001.
You can stretch 50 mil
Yeah.
at the turn of the
All
century.
of the things that they spread out this budget on.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, like you could get so much
Yeah.
shit.
You can't make shit for 48 million now.
No, because everything has to go into post-production and
Yeah.
you got to CGI off mustaches.
And if you have one A-list actor, that's 20 million right there.
Absolutely. Yep. So yeah, couldn't believe how much you get in this movie with
Yeah.
a budget of $48 million.
Absolutely.
So they all end up arriving sort of at the same time in the town. And then it's sort of like a last minute like race to it. But the one character that we didn't follow was the
Senor Bean.
Senor Bean, who awakes at the in the hotel.
Yep.
And he ends up getting what's happening? Oh,
Smashed with Newman's van.
he gets smashed by Newman's van.
Yep.
Dennis Knight playing essentially Newman.
Yeah.
So then he says like oh well like don't sue me, I'll drive you wherever you need to go, I got this
Yeah.
package. And then there's a bunch of silly humor involving a transplant heart and a dog getting electrocuted and
This had maybe my second favorite thing, which was I think early on when Newman and Rowan are driving. Rowan Atkinson is singing along in
with an Italian accent.
a thick Italian accent. He is singing along the lyrics to Respect to the song Chain of Fools. It's really funny.
That's really funny, yeah.
It's great.
That is really funny.
Yeah.
Then him and Dennis Knight's going to. So what happens is they end up wrecking the heart,
Yes.
So then
a dog gets it.
A dog gets it and bites
then
holes in it.
And then jumps into electrified barbed wire and dies.
And then Dennis Knight says, like, he's gonna get fired unless he has a heart.
Unless he got a new
So then he's
heart.
like, well, what we should do is we should just find a drifter and kill a drifter and
Yeah.
take his heart. And Senor Bean is like, yeah, okay, let's do
Yeah.
that. And then he goes, hey,
Do you have?
do you have any family? And he goes, nope, no family at all. He's like, no kids, no wife. I'm like, nope, nothing,
No,
nobody.
all gone.
I got nobody. And then he like looks at him like he goes, oh look, a drifter. We should kill him. And then he just runs and jumps onto a train. And it is the most perfectly cut scene you've ever seen.
The train jump is untouchable. It's actually a shame they put it in the trailer.
Yes.
Because it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
They should have saved it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like a jump, like so. It's like it's a frame in front of the actual picture.
Yeah.
So like he runs and jumps and sort of like freezes, just like hits the train flat and then just goes with the train.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking great.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so good. So then, following him, he's on the train and he sits down with like a family across from him and a baby, and the family's asleep, and the baby's sort of like being like a little fussy. So he starts making like
I'm a little fussy myself.
typical like Mr. Bean faces at him.
Oh, boy.
And he doesn't really like take to it.
Yeah.
So then he pulls out the key for the locker and he's like shaky, 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 shaky.
Baby's into that.
And baby's into that, so then he sort of like gives the baby the key, and he looks away for a split second.
Yeah.
And then looks back, and the key's gone. And he
No
goes,
key.
"Oh, hey baby, where you put the key?" So he's like feeling around, and then he reaches like into his like jumper, and he's like, maybe it's in here. And then the parents wake up, and he goes, I see, I think it's down here. I think I feel it. Like, oh, it's very small. It's very hard to feel. And
And the parents are like, are you molesting our baby right in front of
are
us?
you jerking off an 8-month-old? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
So then, they pull into the train station. He gets thrown off the train.
Yeah.
So he's actually the first one there.
Yeah.
He gets meet by Dave Thomas.
Some would say met.
Oh, sorry. He gets met by Dave Thomas.
He gets meat.
He gets meat. He gets met.
I get meat.
Sometimes. He's like, congratulations, like, here's the locker, walk up. And so he goes to put the key in, and right before he goes in, this is the part I wanted to remember.
Okay.
So Dave Thomas is talking to John Cleese on a phone.
Yeah.
And he says, hey, like, give us updates when there's things happening. Also, I forgot to say, like, all the keys have trackers in them, so they know where everyone is.
Yeah, so they're watching him on a big board.
Yeah. So he gets there, and then they cut to John Cleese, who says, I can't believe the narcoleptic is going to win. And I'm like, why would you ruin the joke? There are people that have forgotten he's a narcoleptic, and you just ruined the
You don't need to set it
gag.
up if it's about to happen.
Like 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
So
True.
he gets there,
True.
he's about to put the key in.
Guess what?
Passes out.
Falls asleep. Yeah.
Like, great. You just ruined a gag.
True.
So dumb.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
then
think about that, but yeah.
Everybody else shows up, and they all like kind of fight over who's going to open the thing. They open it. There's no case.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Dave Thomas and the hooker from the previous gag
Have absconded.
absconded with it because he told her the whole story, and he's in love with her, and so she like tricked him.
Yeah.
So then it just
Like a hua.
like a hooah. So then they're like they escape, and then they get pursued by everyone, and there's a hot air balloon that gets wrapped around a cow, and then the cow is hanging from the hot air balloon, and then Seth Green is hanging from the cow, and then the cow falls into the car that Dave Thomas is driving.
Silas Weir Mitchell from Prison Break is in the mix for some reason.
Oh yeah, because he overhears them talking about they want to make a copy of the key so they can steal a second car to beat them there. Whatever.
For lack of a more delicate term, the monster tard from Prison Break.
Take my hands, boss, like that monster tard in the Green Mile.
Yeah.
So yeah, the cow lands in the car, and then the cow is technically driving the car.
That wasn't bad.
That was pretty silly. The cow looked good though.
Cow looked good.
Cow looked pretty good.
I'm like, that's a pretty good 2001 cow driving a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then like they're all.
I see how they made Avatar 8 years later.
Yep. So yeah, then they all like are like it's a big car chase. They all finally like track him down. They chase him like to some like thing, like a setup or something, like some structure. They end up running up some stairs and out onto the stage at a concert with Smash Mouth.
It's Smash Mouth, baby.
It's full on Smash Mouth.
Because not enough movies at this point in history have ended with All Star.
That is true.
Yeah.
What do you got? You got your Mystery Men.
Shrek.
You got your Shrek. You've got Rat Race, third example.
You know what? There's
The thing that the performance is to raise...
I'm sorry. I would not mind working our way to Mystery Men either.
Me neither.
That's a sick movie.
Yeah, me neither. So the performance they're doing is to raise money for like hungry children.
Yeah,
or
it's a Live Aid type thing, but I believe only Smash Mouth.
Only Smash Mouth. The crowd was packed.
Oh yeah,
but
I mean this is 2001 Smash Mouth,
and they've only made $9,000.
Yeah, they were really eating shit until they showed up.
Yeah. So all of them showed up, and then they there's like a miscommunication where they're like, we got the bag, and there's $2 million.
We got this $2 million bag, and they're like, whoa,
shit,
you're giving the
hungries. Oh, and we all decided like on the way here that we're gonna share the whole thing, and then they're like, wow,
share the whole thing with us with these hungries.
And then they're like, that's crazy, and then they're like, oh, whoa, no, we didn't.
We're
sharing it, not you.
You and I sex.
And then they start getting booed. They start getting booed, and then Rance Howard and some other lady bring a bunch of underprivileged kids on stage, and like make them all change their mind into giving the money to them. Then John Cleese and all the rich guys show up.
Yeah, well, they change almost everyone's mind.
Oh,
Seth Green holds out. Look, John Lovitz is just a sneaky, but he gave us money.
Maybe Breckin Meyer,
and so is probably Breckin Meyer. Yeah. But Seth Green is like
maybe Amy Smart,
probably.
Rowan Atkinson.
No, that's too far. But yeah,
do you think it'll be bad if I just Google search Rowan Atkinson
Jewish? Check it out. But yeah, like everyone is like, yeah, we should do this, and Seth Green's like, no, I want this money, and you know what? I'm with you, Seth, and like you can pressure and guilt me and bring out hungry kids all you want. I'm keeping that fucking money. But eventually, at the end of the day, he's a coward. Drew is making a face that is leading me to believe he has some breaking the news about beloved comedic actor Rowan Atkinson.
This was 2017. Rowan Atkinson will become a father for the third time at the age of 62 with his 33-year-old girlfriend. Mr. Bean star and his partner are expecting their first child together. Atkinson already has 2 grown-up children, Ben, 23, and daughter Lily, 21.
Wow.
I think I've seen his daughter. She's pretty hot.
Excellent.
I think she's pretty hot. Doesn't say if he's Jewish, though. Although somebody asked a question, is Mr. Bean Jewish?
The character. I like that.
He's not Jewish. Yeah, he's not Jewish.
I told you.
He's anti-religious.
That makes sense.
Now, what if I type Rowan Atkinson daughter, and then you show me?
What if I type a Rowan Atkinson daughter nude? Oh, she's pretty.
Not bad at all.
And she's like classically beautiful.
Yeah.
She's not even like a hot Instagram whore.
No. I mean,
I like her. That's a little more.
Well, it's the hair.
Isn't that just Kristen Stewart?
Might be Kristen Stewart. Is that Dean Cain?
It was Dean Cain.
Wow, his son.
Also hot?
No, very much looks like Mr. Bean.
Oh, his son is just Rowan Atkinson Jr.
Well, I'm gonna follow his daughter on Instagram.
As well you should.
Anyways, not Jewish.
Dodged a bullet, guys.
But you know who is? Hall of Famer Rod Carew.
Whoa, he converted.
All right, let's wrap this up. We're getting a little long in the tooth here.
Is this the movie where Seth Green and Breckin Meyer fell in love?
Oh, this is the origin story of Robot Chicken?
No Rat Race, no Robot Chicken.
What year was Robot Chicken?
After 2001.
I don't like it.
Probably 06.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I like it.
You know what? I came around very quickly.
I very much like it. Also, some big old titties.
I am a fan of this young lady.
She doesn't have Atkinson as her last name, and she's not married. That's interesting.
She hates her dad.
Very possible, especially if he's got a 33-year-old girlfriend that he just got pregnant.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on there.
I don't know if that's a big family moment, but
I think I've got a big night ahead of me with young Ms. Atkinson and Sherilyn Fenn. Yeah,
the old one hand for each, and see who finishes.
One hand for
Like
each,
Milton?
and each hand is on a different guy. It's an ace. Oh, yeah, cut it. I don't care.